Hey, what's up, sports to the bone family? What's up? What's up, guys? I hope we have all recovered from yesterday. Yeah, man. Hope everybody recover and is doing well. I must say that I have already recovered. Even watched a couple of games today. Watched India take on Scotland, right? And I think there was another game earlier this morning that I saw. At West Indies being booted out of the T20 World Cup. It hasn't taken a toll on me like it take a toll on some persons because I didn't really expect them to do too well with the sort of team that they went in with. But having said that, it's still painful to watch the so-called T20 superstars go down like that. Yeah, man. But shout out to you all. Welcome to the live show. So we're gonna be breaking down what happened yesterday and thing, right? We're going to be looking at also going to be looking at the test squad that was named. I think we have had enough of this T20 thing, so we're going to give persons a chance to look at the test team that was named. Yeah, man. A couple of people coming through early. Mister, let me see. Sheldon is here. Sheldon say good night. Barry is here. David is here. David is here. Marlon is here. All right. Philip is here. Mr. Lover, Contact 20. All right. And Guy Crick 15 is here. All right. Good. Joining us from Guyana. Yeah, man. Saying, Contact saying, hopefully we can spoil Australia party tomorrow. Well, would be good for them to finish off the tournament on a high. Well, I don't know if it can be a high. Not making it to the semis, but finishing off on a winning note would be good for them, and thing. I understand, but I must say that um it's a lesson learned. Hopefully, it's a lesson learned. Hopefully, I shared a video this morning, reading an article, covering an interview that Pollard did, where it was saying that the senior guys let them down, but apparently still defending their decision to go in. I didn't see Pollard actually coming out and saying, okay, we were wrong to select them because they weren't performing when they were selected and we went on experience. I don't see him doing anything like that. So let us just look and see how far into the future these guys will go. Well, Bravo once again announced that he will be leaving. We should have seen a player we have. I think that's it for Lendl Simmons also. That's it for Ravi Rampal and Chris Gayle. I think that's it for Chris Gayle. Right? As a person saying that Chris Gayle should voluntarily step away from the side. And as much as all you hear me knocking him and saying that he should not be there, I am blaming the selectors and the coach for playing this man alongside the captain. Right? If a man is not producing the runs, why is he there? That is the first place. If I am there and I believe in my head that I can continue, I am going to do everything to try and continue. And say I'm not going to step down because I think in my head that I am still as good as I was 5 to 10 years ago. So I'm going to try and go out and prove it. It is up to the persons to make the right decision and say, look, this man isn't doing anything, so I could leave him. But it's there to be seen. It's there to be seen, right? And this is an eye opener. This is an eye opener. I mean, not ODI or Test cricket, T20 cricket, and we were battered like this. I see Mr. Lover saying Azari had a family emergency, had to step away from the team. Well, Mr. Lover, look like him have all sort of inside information. Hope you're not finding an excuse because your boy was not selected. Hope that is not the case, Mr. Lover. Yeah, man, but you guys will notice that Azari Joseph isn't a part of that test squad that is slated to go to New Zealand. I'm sorry, to Sri Lanka. So Mr. Lover is saying that there is some sort of family emergency. So Let us see. Henry say Gayle is still going to be playing at the 2030 World Cup. Yep. All right, Mr. Lover, I hear you. So Gayle is still going to be at the 2030. that in itself would be good. Yeah, man, that would be good. I don't put it past them. But I'm going to give persons a chance to vent. Not saying that we're going to move away from the topic right away as if nothing didn't happen. But we want to look at the test squad that was selected. So we're going to be discussing that, and thing. I see where Contact 20 is saying, should Karen Powell feels slightened not to be picked? Well, he made a couple of I think parties or something like that, but I finish with Powell, to be honest. There's no future there. And I mean, some person's gonna say that, we actually don't have any present, so we should work with him until somebody turn up. But that man don't want to play cricket. You understand? I see Kevin D say, hey mate, I know it is difficult for us West Indies fans, but these things can happen. Yeah, man, definitely can happen. Definitely. Yeah. Guy Crick 15 say, Sports to the Bone, what do you think about Solozano? To be honest, I don't know much about him. Right? I said it on the live the other evening. I don't know much about him. I think he was good at the under 19 level. Has been playing some cricket in Trinidad based on what I heard. But it's going to be good to see him at the international level. I think he actually played in a West Indies A tour, if I'm not mistaken. He was a part of a West Indies A tour previously. Didn't do too badly. So I am going to look at him in this upcoming series against Sri Lanka to see how he performs. Raja Harper, a man who is working all the magic and tricks in the background, said that he might be placed in the firing line straight away because it's a possibility that Shea Hope will be moved towards the middle to the middle order. So Solozano might be asked to step up and do some work alongside Captain Craig Brathwaite up at the top. So I won't be able to give a definite detailed analysis as regards to how good the young man is or to how solid his technique is. In those West Indies A games, I would have heard the name, but I haven't seen him. So if it is a case that he gets an opportunity to bat, then I'll get a chance to look at his technique to see what he is, how good of a player he is. But based on what I have heard thus far, he seems to be somebody that can handle the bat. You understand? So we are going to see, man. We are going to see how it goes. Yeah. All right, Mr. Lover saying just need to play him natural game. Sheldon says Solozano has a first class average of less than 30. Most of the West Indies players going in from the first class level, their averages usually, average usually in the probably mid 20s up to the high 20s. Very rarely you find them going in with a 30 at average 40. So that's why we're not supposed to be surprised when they move over to the international level, play cricket for 4 or 5 years and still can't average more than 25. Because if you're not dominating the regional level with an average of 45, 50, then it's highly unlikely that you are going to come to the top and dominate. We see some people in the top in the other international teams. If you look at some of the players coming out of county cricket, right? If you look at some of the players coming out of the New Zealand system there, same thing with Australia. These guys are coming up with averages of 40 at close to 50. So, I mean, stepping up to international cricket, it's a little bit higher. So, they might not be able to bring those same sort of performance, quick, but it's expected that they will get there. You understand? I think Chris Gayle argument with Ambrose caused, of course, West Indies lose. Well, Warwick can deserve a spot above. If Warwick can deserve a spot above who? Check it again, Contact 20, make we hear what you're saying there. check his Instagram, and Paul seems to be more interested in other ventures and being a social media star. Well, I haven't seen anything about Paul. I haven't checked his social media. I think there might, let me see. Oh, there are a couple of persons in the waiting room. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just going to go through and read a couple of the comments, and then I'll let you guys in. All right. So just bear with me a little bit. Mm. All right. Brutality. All the universe boss did was prove Sir correctly. Correctly, right? All right. So are we finished with Dowrich or what? I don't know if we are finished with him or he's the one that is finished with us. I haven't heard anything about him. It's the strangest thing. Yeah, I mean, he's not young, he's 29. But if you're not 29, if you are serious and you're performing, you can get 6, 7 years of cricket. So I'm not sure what's happening with him. Mr. Lover say Campbell averaged 30, 40 in first class cricket and failed, so I don't see any problem with Solozano getting a shot. Yeah, Mr. Lover, let's be real. Our first class 11s in anywhere near international level. Group B heating up India fighting for that second spot, but they got to hope Afghanistan holds off New Zealand. Yeah, India did pretty well earlier this morning against Scotland. I think they bowled out Scotland for I think it was 70 odd, and they went in and hit it off in under 7 overs, 6 point something overs. But as I said, New Zealand have their own fate in their hand. If New Zealand is able to go there and take care of business, then India will be out. Kevin D says Sunday is the Mexican Grand Prix for F1. I think it was Kevin D that asked me if I watch Formula One. I don't really watch it. If I skip the channel and I see it pop up, I might look at it, but I am not well versed on it. I am not really in love with it like that. Usually drop by 10 to 15 runs. All right, Sheldon's average usually drop. Good night, Bones, and happy that the old heads are going so that the young stars can get their change. But the young stars will have to perform though. Getting rid of the older guys is one thing, but getting the younger guys to perform is another thing, right? Yeah, man, that is another thing. Highest average for domestic cricket is 30. Really show the sad straight. All right, exactly. And it's not like we have the best bowlers in the world. So if they are not able to get more than that, playing at that level, then you can see what's happening. Hetty should be placed back into the test team, and Puran should be given a look in test cricket. You see, the selectors have their rules, but as I said, Bancroft, these two guys need to be playing test cricket. I know that we are going to say that they need to be playing some 4-day cricket and thing to start to work themselves in. But we need these guys. We need these guys playing quality cricket and not just going all over the place and playing T20 cricket. Any tips on any tips on batting flat underarms? I find it difficult at school. Flat underarms. What type of underarms? Usually when I say underarms, we're talking about this, talking about underarming like that. So you have to probably be a little bit clearer. Not the best coach in the world, but I might be able to give you some ideas. So you probably need to structure the question a little bit better. I don't think Dowrich is finished. He can make the team as a pure batsman if needs be. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with him though. India got the luck of being in group with Scotland and Namibia. Yeah, they got the luck, yes, but the two teams that were expecting to probably give them trouble, they gave them trouble in Pakistan and New Zealand. So let us see. New Zealand will definitely want to go there and get rid of Afghanistan. Once they get rid of them, doesn't matter what India is able to do, they are not going to go through. Who are our wicket takers really? If you are talking about test cricket that we are gearing up for now, we are expecting Kemar Roach, Shannon Gabriel, Jaden Seals, those guys. But if you're talking about T20 cricket, we went in the World Cup expecting Ravi Rampal to take wickets in the power play. We also expected Bravo to bowl economical and pick up wickets. You understand? So our bowling is gentle but not penetrative. Nelson say West Indies fans are really tough to see how poor things are for us. I big up Sports to the Bone for the love. Hope somebody will play better cricket. Everyone stay safe. All right, Nelson, blessings. Guy Crick 15 say I'm looking forward to the squad to name names for Pakistan tour. All right. Richard say Pollard should retire as Richie Richardson when Kenya beat them. Looking forward to the T20 squad for the Pakistan tour. A new era for West Indies. That should be a statement in itself, you know. Even if we go over there and get beaten, we should make a statement. You know, I think that with Bravo retiring, they can pull in Drakes, give him an opportunity. Ravi Rampal definitely can go, and they can maybe bring in not O'Shane Smith, Odin Smith. They can bring in Odin Smith, give him a look in. Rutherford can be given an opportunity also to bat at number 3. You understand? So, you know, we should be seeing some fresh faces. You understand? Russell still expected to do some work for us in the future, but right now I am thinking that we need to start investing in Romario Shepherd, give him an opportunity. These guys have been failing for a while now. You know, we took them to the World Cup based on their so-called experience. They didn't do anything. So give the other guys an opportunity. Going to Pakistan, we might get beaten, as I said, guys, but we need to make a statement. I am thinking that going to Pakistan, Romario Shepherd, Odin Smith, in place of Ravi Rampal, Romario Shepherd in place of one of the all-rounders, with probably Andre Russell, you know, Rutherford in place of Chris Gayle. Chris Gayle, but at number 3 most of the tournament. So Rutherford in place of him, Drake's in place of Bravo. We need to make a statement, man. We need to make a statement. We need to make a statement. The yeah, man. Michael Rose said, Dorich, they are foreigner party. Yeah, I say. Other nation using younger players in the World Cup, not players who have big name like West Indies. Exactly. I'm tired of West Indies cricket. Too much incompetence among both players and management. I just woke up. The game over yet. I think Rakim Jimbo Carnival would get some runs and wickets. All right. Contact say I wonder if Bravo could have made the squad for the last. I wonder if Darren Bravo could have made the squad for one last try. You're talking about Tess. Well, they didn't select him, so you know. I find it hard to believe that a few short ball have ended Dorich's career. I think it is more than that. I think it is more than that. Because even though he's susceptible to short pitch bowling, majority of our batsmen, the same thing. You know, I don't know if something is going on behind the scenes, so I don't want to say anything about a man because I don't know. You understand? Unknown say like up the live, people. Unknown. No matter how I tell these people to like up the live, I'm not getting them to do that. So, you know, we just come in, do the work, do the reading out of comments, do some work and thinking about the people not like up the live at all. Rose Azar Joseph is gonna be a great bowler one day if he focus on his bowling. He is 2 minds right now. Unknown so Rampal go away. When the ball rolls on the ground, I'm skinny and I find it hard to hit straight like the others. Maybe because you're not getting your body in line with the ball. You understand? You see, when the ball is rolling on the ground, you know, the ball is not going to swing, you know. The ball, so if the coach is underarming the ball to you, the ball is not going to swing in the air. So say for example, I know it's not a coaching class, guys, but let me just answer this question. It's cricket. Say for example, they are throwing the ball in the air. The ball will swing, you know, so you might go out on the front foot and you're not far enough and the ball swing into you, so you're still able to cover it. But if the ball is rolling on the ground, more time than not, the ball is going to be coming in a straight line. You understand? So what you need to do is get your body in line with the ball. Your front foot need to go as close as possible to the ball and just come down with the bat in a straight motion. That is all. And if you're up too high, then if they're underarming the ball too hard, then that ball is going to roll underneath the bat. So if you're up too high, you're not going to go down in time. Similarly to when you're batting on these pitches over there in the subcontinent, you notice a lot of guys tend to lower their stance, right? The lower you are, then the faster you will reach. So you want to lower your stance, get your front foot in line with the ball. The coaches should have the front foot doing something like this. Bam. Anywhere they roll the ball to, bam. Bam. That is how you play the ball and go over it. You can't stand to the side and try and go so because the ball not going to swing in. You have to go over the ball. Make sure you're not too high. Come down to the ball. Right? Because you don't want the ball roll on at the bat. Come down and carry down the bat in a straight line. Simple as that. I'm glad that the selector speaks Solozano instead of Poyle. I had enough of Poyle. I hope this young man grab this opportunity later on show. All right. Show me your views on the test team selected. Yeah, man, we're definitely going to talk about the test team. All right. I see a lot of comments coming in, but we're going to switch over now because I think we have a couple of persons waiting. All right. I see Mr. Lover. All right. Let me add Mr. Lover. Bam. Mr. Lover added. Ian added. I think Marlon added, and Sachin, who is Sachin Tenduka, added. Good evening, gentlemen. I guess we have all recovered from yesterday, and everybody is doing okay.
No, we are ready to do the postmortem.
All right. Well, let me plug in this because, yeah, man. All right. Yeah, man. So once again, good evening, guys. Good evening. Nice to see some faces, you know, people looking fresh and recovered. I mean, I don't expect anything less because you guys usually have your pre-match analysis and things spot on. So I don't know if anything would have surprised you guys too much. You understand? So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to really go ahead at it. You know, Ian, you want to kick it off for us?
Yeah, good day, everybody. How are you all going? All right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, the thing is this, right? That wicket that we played on, for once in all the other tournaments, it was a batting wicket. So it was a good batting wicket, right? So as you saw, the one side make almost 200, and that's the most amount of runs I think we made.
Like 168, yeah, I think.
And we made that with only two of the men who I spoke about. If the exact two I spoke about made runs.
Exactly.
Remember?
Exactly. Yeah,
Turan and Hepmeyer, just before I leave on the first statement thing, at least I'm feeling good that Turan and Hepmeyer did what they did. One of the problems I have though is that West Indians are a little too emotional. And they just drop this one, drop this one, drop this one. I want everybody to remember that Bravo, the same Bravo, although he went retired, in our T20, in our competition, it's real people get blows, you know. And all them players are they saying to replace them with did not perform. For instance, look at Ravi Rampal. Who outperformed Ravi Rampal in our 20 thing that everybody want to jump on Ravi case. When he gets some licks, a wicket, that is a batsman's wicket. Why so? The man bowled good, he bowled economical, but because he gets some good on a batting wicket, drop Ravi. Everybody always want to drop the old man, but
the entire team underperformed.
But didn't Ravi take a set of wickets the other day in our cricket? Where was all these great batsmen and great bowlers to outperform Ravi? All of a sudden, people forget what Ravi did. What he did in the 50 overs, he performed. People forget. Drop Ravi, you won this one. But these people you're calling didn't perform anything in the IPL.
Yeah, that is why I have no issue with him being in the squad, you know, being in the team, going there. Right. But you know, so we need some fresh blood.
No problem, Bravo, God. But I'll tell you that a spiritual connotation to this before I move on. There's a spiritual reason why we lost. Right? And a man is pray a lot. The Bible says pride follows just before the fall. Pride.
Pride goeth before a fall. Yeah.
Remember the song? We go licks them. Licks. We go licks them and Chris Gayle and all of them shaking at the dance.
I know I don't see the licks.
No.
We took the licks.
The opposite happened.
Yeah.
Trap. that the king had set for the children of Israel is the same trap the person ended up in who was setting up the trap, right? When you read the scriptures that when you set a trap, right?
Step 2.
Right, it will fall back on you if your spirit is in the right place. Them fellas had to lose because there was no humility until, right?
Exactly.
Them is big bad boys going, but licks them. You ain't hit one ball yet. You ain't make a run. Them fellas average 7 runs and 10 runs and all kind of nonsense, right? Why they don't want to release the record now? But instead of saying licks, them say we get licks, we get plenty licks. Australia cut we tail, this one cut we tail. Everybody beat, you see Lanka beat we tail. We get licks. I want Paul Bravo tonight. Them change you to the song now. Because only licks.
Yeah, we need that. We need a new song.
No humility. After pride comes the fall. That is why they can't even understand what hit them. What hit them is that, right? The Lord chastises those he loves. And once he's a child of God, it ain't going to happen for wickedness, but it happen to keep you humble and to keep your foot on the ground. Because some of them head was
getting grounded.
Yeah. Go ahead. Good.
All right. So that was Ian with his opening remarks. All right. Sanjay, you there?
Hey, Lennox.
Yes, Sandra. I think you are one of them that was saying Gayle is going to finish as the top run scorer and we're going to lift the World Cup easily. I don't know if you're talking about the next year World Cup. That's the one you were talking about. Lennox, what's happening with you over there?
Lennox, I must tell you, I am disappointed in Chris Gayle. But the thing is now, I didn't say that Chris Gayle should play all the games. I said he should start with the England game
2 games.
Based on form, you determine if you're playing in the other games. You know, I'm not only disappointed in Chris Gayle, I'm disappointed in everybody else.
The team in general.
Including the bowling. Everybody nobody really stand up and put their hands up, you know, except for in the last game we saw Hetmeyer with 81 runs, Nicholas Brown with 46, I believe. So those two guys, they're the future. They prove that, you know, they're worth investing in. And, you know, for tomorrow's game, I just hope that, you know, we do some changes. Phil Simmons and Karen Pollard, they don't like to change teams, you know, but we're losing. So you have to bring in somebody.
Finish on a high.
Lendell Simmons, they're not in any form. They're not, you know, they haven't really demanded a place in the team. But it's the last game, and, you know, Lendell Simmons and Andre Fletcher do have some time ahead of them. So I would recommend, you know, making some changes. Hayden Walsh did really good against Australia in the home tour, so I would find a spot for him as well. For me, I would love to see Odin Smith, but I don't think giving a guy a debut
who that
is worth it, so we probably might not see him. But I just hope...
Who that is? Odin? O'Shane Thomas?
Smith.
Oh, but he's not in the squad.
No, but he's in the reserve, so I don't know. I'm just...
He's not in the reserves either.
No man. Sheldon Cottrell, Darren Bravo, Moti.
What did you say? I let you say the wrong word, yes? 40, what is his name?
What?
Let me tell you. Moti,
right.
Darren Bravo,
right.
Sheldon Cottrell, right. And there's a next one. I think it's 4.
You sure?
But
it's 15
okay,
plus
so Odin Smith is not in there, right?
Yeah, Odin Smith isn't there. I think he's there as a net bowler.
And Drake
he's as a net bowler. The reason why I
said they are helping in the nets.
I know he's there. Okay, but I get your point. So for me, it's just to come out and play hard against Australia. You know, I've been listening to Fazir Mohammed, and he's not wrong. Those guys did not have any. I mean, they didn't show any fight in the last game. In the field, I don't know if it's age or what, but there was just no fight. Sri Lanka had a clear plan, and, you know, they came out and executed. So I'm just hoping for a better performance against Australia, just to end on a high.
The tournament. All right, so that was Sanjay. Marlon, let us hear what you have to say.
Well, let me begin by giving a report card. So I give Puran a B-, and I would also give a B- to Akil. To Akil,
the only man that impressed me in the tournament so far for West.
B- for
only person.
I would give a C- to I'd give a D to Evan Lewis and Rastan Chase. I give these
You're
to
talking
those two.
about the yesterday's game alone?
No, I'm talking about everything. I'd give a
Oh,
D
in
to
general.
yes, the entire tournament thus far. I'd give a D to
Mm-hmm.
Rastan Chase and Evan Lewis, and I'd give
Mm.
Jason Waller a solitary C minus. Everybody else gets a
Jaja.
F. Everybody else gets a F. And some
Yeah.
people F need to be downgraded. I mean, for
So you're
Andre
giving
Russ to
Hetty a
average
F.
one run,
Oh man, that man get a
average
Z, man.
less than 2 run in 4 innings is abysmal.
Unsatisfactory.
Listen, the man has scored 7 runs in the tournament. 7 runs in 4 games with I
Yeah.
think 2 ducks. At least one of them was
Was
he
the
did
run out. That
penny.
was unfortunate. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the performance has been abysmal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
our bowlers, Ian, I hear you about Rampart, but we have to critique Rampart. Our bowlers were like pit bulls with muscles on. We had no bite. We had absolutely
Yeah.
like toothless sharks. We
Mm-hmm.
had nobody there we look like batsmen were threatened by outside of Akilos here. None. So the bowlers, I mean, Bravo's performance was abysmal. If anybody I thought we could have counted on with the ball was Bravo. Bravo was
Yeah,
non-existent.
it wasn't his best tournament at all.
I mean,
Yeah, Markian, I'm going to miss him, but he didn't fire this tournament
he
at
didn't
all.
fire in any way, shape, or form. The other batsmen speak for themselves. I mean, Pollard, he didn't cover himself in any major glory either.
Mm.
I mean, Gayle never went over 100.
Mm.
We've already killed Lendal Simmons already, so no one need to resurrect him to kill him again. I mean, it was just abysmal. Terrible.
Mm.
So everybody else gets a F, with the exception of Evan Lewis, Rastan Chase,
Akil.
Hetty. I forget about Hetty and a few others, Puran, but everybody else gets a F.
Mm. Well, this lecturer mark hard. I guess you can say mark hard about fear. All right, so that's Barland there. Mr. Lover. Yeah. What say you?
Disappointed. First thing first, batting order for yesterday was totally uncalled for. I think the best thing that was supposed to be done when Gayle out, you have Hetmeyer and Puan coming immediately at 3 and 4 respectively for Puan and Hetmeyer. After that, they can wing it after that. Watson Chase was not supposed to bat that early in that game like yesterday. Chris Gayle should not have opened either. And I didn't know what to say about the rest.
Who you would have opened with yesterday? Puran and Lewis?
I would have probably walked with Puan to open.
Oh.
To be fair,
Right.
on Chase, he was at a runner ball and he only faced like 7 or 8 balls. So he didn't do too much damage.
True.
Could have been better, but it wasn't. I wouldn't blame him entirely.
But boy, Chase catch the catch that got rid of Chase playing that on drive was brilliant.
Yes, it was a good shot.
Yeah, it was
a really good catch. That's the one reason why I'm not giving him a feeling grade.
That is a shot that every youngster tries to play. It's just that.
that was just really good feeling.
I think Sheldon is on. Sheldon, you are there?
No, it's Sachin.
Oh, Sachin is there also. Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
First of all, I would like to say overall in the tournament so far, I know Hetty didn't perform well. Puran didn't perform well in a couple of games. But so far, I like what I saw with our upcoming players with the likes of Akil, Hetty, and Puran. And yesterday was just a disappointment. I said, I commented on one of your posts, if Pollard and Russell, they at least hit 1-6 each or a 4 each, I think we could have won that game.
Yeah, Hetty would have carried it home.
Yeah, I think Hetty would have finished it for us because the way he was going. And for me yesterday, Pollard, he didn't play sensible at all. First ball, you come out swinging against a spin bowler. I don't think that's the right frame of mind.
But Sachin, not only against a spin bowler, you're a right-handed batsman facing up to Hasaranga that bowls up. The man bowl more googs than he bowl regular leg spin. Pollard came and swing across the ball. The googs, it was a googs. The ball just bounced, came back into him and hit out the stump. That was just stupidity at the highest level. You understand? You come in, going to play against Hasaranga, who is known to bowl the googs to right-handers. He just came make one big swing. I, I can't justify it. Many will probably say he was trying to take the attack to hit him out of the attack, but you can't go across such a quality leg spinner who is able to get the ball to come back into you as a right hander and miss it. No, man, that was just madness, man. Madness.
Yeah, I expected more from him
Jesus.
as a captain this entire tournament. He was not good at all. Russell too. But the
Russell's
question
a
I want
different
to ask,
story.
yeah, the question I want to ask before, like I know Bravo's retiring. Who would you guys select as an all-rounder to come in and replace Bravo to bowl great in the dead overs?
Right
Dominic
now,
Jakes.
to be honest, going to Pakistan in short order, I am going with Dominic Drakes. Not saying that he's going to cover himself with any glory,
Um,
but I am giving the youngster a chance. I am
you
giving
know,
him a
I think
chance.
I think Kimo Paul is ahead of Dominic Jakes. I think Kimo Paul
Really?
is
No,
skilled. He
I
can bat.
wouldn't say that,
You
no.
guys are
You
looking
listen.
at
sure?
Dominic Jakes from the perspective of him playing for St. Kitts. I am looking at Kimo Paul as a guy who's been
With
playing
ex,
for 3 or 4 years now. You know what I mean? Experience is there. I
mhm.
would give
But
Dominic
the,
Jakes some more time.
the difference with the different why I would probably disagree with you. If it was the chemo Paul of 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, then I would say yes. But
Yeah.
you realize that over the past couple of years we haven't gotten anything from chemo Paul, you know.
No,
Very
in
um
fairness, he's been injured though, and he's recovering and trying to
mm,
get back to bowling as good as he was before. So Kimo Paul is very talented. Remember, for St.
very
Lucia, he
much
did
so.
bat very good. I mean, Dominic
Hmm.
Jakes won some games for St. Kitts, and you look at it
Hmm.
because he did in fact win those games. But Kimo Paul has been good. He has the experience. He's played IPL. He's been down to the Big Bash. He's been to
Hmm.
Bangladesh as well. So he's very experienced. And
Yeah,
another person,
very
another
experienced. We just
all-rounder we can invest
hmm
into Romario Shepherd. So I mean,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I was
Dominic
just gonna
Jakes,
yeah.
say.
yeah, Jakes
Romare
is
Shepherd is
talented
definitely
enough,
up there.
but
Probably not
I
as
would be
yet.
cautious. Yeah.
All right. I understand the chemo Paul thing with you though. But I guess it just need to give us some good performances coming off the injury to say, all right, he still has it. That is
Kimo
the
need
thing,
to
you know.
regain his
I think
confidence. Kimo,
Mm,
in
Kimo
our
has more confidence, in my opinion. When you watch him in the CPL playing for St. Lucia, they demolished his confidence to the point where they didn't want to bowl him.
mm.
Faf obviously was scared to bowl him, especially in the depth. How low on confidence that young man is. And
And I
for
guess,
that main reason, Dominic Drake should be
mhm,
ahead of him.
mhm. And I guess that is what was saying it again. Sanjay was saying probably as soon as he's going to continue working on his match fitness, his sharpness, and hopefully with that, his confidence will come back. But I mean, Akeem Paul of 3 years ago, man, the guy, or if he had continued like how it started, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. He would be right there. But I guess if he gets a couple of games out of the way, get his confidence up, I definitely would agree with Sanjay though. But I think he needs to remind us of what he's capable of. But he's definitely quality. He just needs to remind us of what he's capable of.
I think
But
in this upcoming tournament that we have in Pakistan, I would like
mhm,
to see at least Kimo be there with the team, and I would also like to see Odin Smith and Romario Shepherd there with
and
the team.
Romario Shepherd, yeah. So we could probably rotate them because I mean we might not go and dominate Pakistan, but it would be a good opportunity, as I was saying at the top of the life, to go out there and to show that here what these are the youngsters that we're looking to work with. Go and show us what you are capable of. I would like to see Rutherford getting a couple of games. Chemo, as I said, maybe Chemo Paul, Drake, Shepard, Smith.
Lennox,
Rotate these guys, give them a chance.
who we need to
Mm-hmm.
seriously look at as well? Shanda Paul. That guy, he
Hemorrhage.
can
But
hemorrhage. He can bat. you know, and he's
Shonda Paul.
somebody that is attacking just like Evan Lewis, and I think we should, you know, start looking at him as well.
We have to give him a chance at the top of the innings. I agree with you,
Exactly.
Sanjay.
We gave Brandon King a long run, you know, and
Yes.
Brandon
Emirates
King
display
is
in the
talented,
PPL,
so I
he
think we
has to
should
get
do
a
the
look
same
in.
for Hemorrhage.
Yes, he has to get a look in.
I have no problem with that. Shonda Paul Hermage has done enough to you know to get a look in. I am just worried about how fit he is now. I mean, he's playing over in Atlanta, you know. I saw him over there in Atlanta playing in that league. I mean, it's not very competitive, but based on what he would have done here,
Yeah.
I think he needs to get a chance. And he's not young. He's running out of chances. I think he's about 28, if I'm not mistaken. So he's running out of time. But based on the work, the body of work that he would have shown thus far, I think, you know, he can get a chance. But you know, the position is definitely there. So hopefully these guys will get opportunity and they will grab it. You
But
understand? So
can I ask you guys too? What about Kennard Lewis? What do you think he would have to do or work on to be able to get into that team? Because he's a good player. He's powerful. He reminds me of Karen Pollard, to be honest. But technically he might need some work. But yeah, he's somebody.
As I said, he's a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah.
You know, usually I think he usually score a lot of runs in regional cricket in the 50 Super 50, if I'm not mistaken. You know, scores a lot of runs.
What Lewis?
Kennard Lewis. He was opening for the Talawas the other day. I think he scored some run. I think he have some good runs in the Super 50, man.
He blew hot and cool, though. He blew hot and cool.
Yeah, a big strong man.
Yeah, his technique might be the issue.
Yeah, he's a bit.
Good technique.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest to look at.
Right.
You know, so coming up against quality pace bowling or swing bowling, it might throw him off. But I think if he's able to give us a couple of good CPL, they might give him an opportunity. A lot of persons would have only gotten a chance to see him in the last CPL that just played. You know, but he's a guy that I've seen a bit of him. But I think he needs to face some quality bowling for a time to really get a look in.
That whole Talawa side look like they could make some good wrestlers and boxers. About 5 of them big and strong and tall and fearful.
Yeah.
You see them fellas?
Yeah, but you know, and they're not coming off. They're not coming off. We had Lewis there, we had Kennard Lewis, Brathwaite, Russell. A whole lot of big guys here.
Yeah.
But
I was frightened when I see them fellas go lose the ball. They kind of size them fellas up, but they ain't come off at all. They're not like West Indies. They Pistons and shoot off. You know, but when we look at the T20 side, I think tomorrow everybody who didn't sweat should get sweat tomorrow. And even the reserves, I feel somebody should say they're injured because they're really playing like they're injured anyhow. I'm bringing young Bravo to get a little sweat because I might be his last international sweat. Let all them fellas who in reserve, let them fellas like Pollard say they're injured because Pollard injured and he went on back still. We playing with this Russell injured and he's still playing. Chris Gayle was injured. All of them was injured and they still went out there and played with the injury.
Yeah. Well, we're
4-1 record against Australia, so he could captain.
Yeah?
Puran has a 4-1 record against Australia, so you could let him captain. And
exactly. Let Puran take a captain, let Pollard take a real rest for a while. I'm not saying to drop him. But Pollard injured. Pollard had something in his leg or some kind of thing.
I think he had a thigh strain.
Thigh strain.
Thigh. I don't know if it's quadricep or something.
That was the problem why he couldn't pull the ball properly.
I think he should step aside from the captaincy, in my opinion. I think Pollard should step away from the captaincy after this World Cup ends.
I don't agree.
In the team. I think he should. Yes, man, he should step aside.
Pollard is the best leader in the Caribbean.
No, but Sanjay, we are going to drop in the same position that we
came up for one thing.
I think Puran.
Hold on. This captaincy argument, I'm going to give everybody a chance on it. Let Marlon finish, then I'll go around so everybody can talk about it. Yeah, Marlon.
For one, firstly, a sense of accountability needs to be built in within the cricket. You cannot preside over such a debacle and remain in your position. You cannot. to me, that's a truism in politics, sports, and life. If you're a leader and you preside over something that was so disastrous, step aside, do the big man thing. That is number one. The next thing is, he's not a young man. He does not have years ahead of him in the cricket. Why would you still continue to lead after this instead of promoting one of the younger guys who you could get 7 good years at a high level from? At best, you'd get 2 more years on Pollard. Or I don't know if we want to continue with him like Chris Gayle until he reaches 42 to see the precipitous decline.
How old Dhoni is?
Dhoni probably is probably in his probably 30, high 30s, probably 40.
He's 35, 36, I think. Oh, Pollard?
Dhoni.
Oh, Dhoni is about 39.
Yes.
Right. And Dhoni mashed up the dance the other day?
No, he didn't.
No, man, he finished. I think the last 2 games he finished off okay, especially the last game, but he was struggling.
Dhoni is 40 years old.
Oh, he's 40 now. I think it was just 1 game that he carried it home for them, but
and
he was definitely struggling.
And who carried home for Chennai?
Chennai Super King.
Yeah, who did it? Who
Dhoni plays for.
Yes,
Dhoni plays for them. I'm saying that was the game.
Struggling the entire IPL. If you look at the numbers were abysmal. He has been struggling. Listen, if Dhoni was anybody else, they would have dropped him from that team. Dhoni and Owen Morgan were 2 captains that were doing well in their
they weren't good at all
as batsmen. They were miserably failing. So in my opinion, West Indies team is not good enough to carry a captain.
But Sammy averaged about 10 runs for the whole of the World Cup when
look at the great
difference was result.
Well, yeah, because England was
good
cutting retail and one man do a magnificent thing and hit 4 sixes and 1 over unprecedented, or else we would have lose that match. If we was losing,
no,
honestly, when we win this World Cup, we were losing.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is that team was so good it could have carried a captain that was not performing.
Yeah, no, I just
Andre Russell was still doing good. Gayle was still at the top of his game. Bravo. We had the Badgers, the Narines of the world. That team could have carried a captain. But to me, on the sense of accountability and looking towards the future, not even looking towards Australia. I'm talking about Australia and beyond. Pollard should step aside. I think Phil Simmons need to go out, but Pollard definitely should step aside.
And bring Puran.
All right, so let me get a crack at it.
Who take over is a different conversation, but Pollard should step aside.
All right, let me get a crack at it. Where Marlon, what Marlon is saying, I definitely understand. Usually when you're in leadership position, if it's the army, politics, whatever, when you preside over something and it totally fail, then you're expected to step aside. Some people would say that is a gentleman thing to do, but I wouldn't take it from him as yet. You know what I mean? It's the World Cup. It's the World Cup, and he failed totally as a captain and as a leader. But I would probably give him another 2 series to look at what's happening, because he went in with a couple of guys that were definitely not supposed to be there. So he himself didn't perform, but a couple of guys. But hold on, but hold on, the end game is that he went in with all of these guys.
I can show you. Remember, I show you West Indies out down for 47 already in that match. And the captain, I think then could have been Chanda Paula. The Paula Bisa takes it. Nobody in fire, nobody at that point. You had to give a man a run. You go win some, you go lose some. It was horrible. But if like that, you change captain every time we have a thing, we will change captain. Because every time we do bad, we just change the captain. Every time we do bad, we change the captain.
No,
you have to.
Let me just finish and I'll let me just finish and I'll let Ian go. So where Pollard is concerned, I am looking towards the future. Here, I highlighted this comment on the screen for a reason, because I don't know how many persons going to say that I'm fighting down Puran, but those who actually watch the program will know that I love and respect Puran. But in all honesty, Bravo captain the games against Australia. Right, I don't want to take anything from the man. Right, I know that the record is going to show that Puran won the games as captain against Australia, but Bravo captain those games. right? So what I would do coming out of this World Cup, Pollard has the experience. So I'm going to give him 2 more series to sort of, let Puran continue to learn under his wings, and then automatically probably just fade him out. If we play 2 more series and we don't get anything from Pollard, then I'll ask Puran to step up. But with Bravo stepping away, Pollard is the best captain now in the region, right? In my opinion. I mean, people gonna say that, boy. Even Marlon might say, well, it he probably didn't prove anything in the World Cup, But in my opinion, he's still the best captain right now in the shorter format. Now that Bravo have stepped away, so I am going to give him maybe another 2 series to see how it
This to me
goes.
is the problem we have. This to me is the problem we have. You do not want somebody to learn on the job. The best way to see how good the man will be is put the man in the deep end. The next series coming up now, they have no big value on them outside of getting players instead of rebuilding. Why do you want to rebuild with this old material? Because after this World Cup, we are rebuilding to Australia and beyond now. Why are you rebuilding with this with recycled material?
Probably why I'm looking at it like this is because I am not ready to throw away Pollard as just yet as a captain. I don't know if it is because no, as a captain. I said as a captain.
The team and not captain the team.
No man. I'm saying as a captain. I'm not ready to throw him away as a captain. I don't know if it is because it's a lower level, but probably it's because what I have seen from him where CPL is concerned. Even though Rohit Sharma is the captain of Mumbai Indian, but sometimes I see him step up and lead the team. I have seen this man in person captaining teams at Sabina Park, and his whole demeanor as a captain. We didn't see a lot of it in the World Cup, where body language is concerned and his demeanor being up. But I am not ready to throw him away yet. So let us hear Ian.
Well,
yeah, Ian.
Right. Why it is? I like how you bring up the IPL. Pollard has actually filled in for Mumbai Indians, so much so he's extremely respected and loved by the Mumbai Indian people. But it about said the prophet is never recognized in his own land. We just take your own people and we want to lick and bust the throat as soon as they fail. But all over the world they love Pollard. Yeah. All in India they love him. They literally worship him in Mumbai, India. He just captain his side and carry his side. He respected by the captain. Are you telling me drop Pollard because of one failure? What kind of madness is that? That's how we treat your own people. So one failure and you bust a man throat. All the good he do before. You don't want to recognize that? Just bust his throat because he lose a World Cup? That is wickedness. I cannot support that. That's what I have to say.
All right. So Ian shooting the Marlon argument. Yeah, man, go ahead now. Go ahead, then we'll move on to Sanjay.
Marlon, can I just say,
yes, sir.
You have a point. Somebody must be held accountable, but I don't think Pollard is that guy. The guy that needs to be held accountable is the lead selector, Mr. Raja Harper, because clearly he didn't have a plan, right? Because the guys that he selected for the team, and I'm just going to say Chris Gayle right here, he was not in any good form leading up to the World Cup, and they persisted with him. Then he went to the IPL, same issue, and you still persisted with him, and then you play him all the games. You know what I mean? For me, Kieron Pollard, Jason Holder, they're two of the best leaders in the Caribbean. Now, Kieron Pollard made some errors in the World Cup in terms of team selection, the fielding. There's a lot of things that went wrong.
Man failed,
right?
But I you cannot
just put the
What's Sanjay?
Yeah?
This is the issue I have with your point. What you did was just the classic pass in the buck. If you were watching the debate surrounding the squad, you would realize how Raja Harper was speaking was that the captain wanted certain players and we gave it to him. It was his decision. Gayle in that squad was his decision. Listen, you cannot tell me that he didn't muscle his way and get Gayle in that squad.
Listen, I've listened to the president of the West Indies Cricket Board saying the captain will be consulted on selection decisions. That's the policy Mr. Ricketts said, right? So therefore, you have to assume that the selecting of the team would have been up to the coach and the selectors, right? Kieron Pollard could not have, in any way force anybody onto the selectors that they wouldn't want in the team. Now, the Chris Gayle issue is you're looking at his reputation, right? And everybody in the Caribbean would have probably been mixed as to whether you include him or not. You know what I mean? But the issue at the end of the day is Mr. Harper is the selector and he's the one that must answer all these questions.
All right. Let us hear.
Relax. I would draw people back.
Yeah.
Let me get this last.
Yeah, Marlon.
Let me draw people
Yeah.
back. It was open advocacy among the team members to get Gayle in this. Team members were open advocating to say, listen, Gayle is the vibes, man. Gayle, the camaraderie, they were openly protesting to get this man in the squad.
Yeah, man, I remember.
Leading that bandwagon. So he should take accountability for the failures of these guys. So I don't believe
remember
the selectors.
I remember all of that.
I'm finished.
I remember all of that. But I think what Sanjay is saying, the selector, it doesn't matter how much pressure the captain tried to squeeze and try to push his neck into all of that. The selector is the one that should, really be held accountable. You are called the lead selector for a reason, Captain will want certain players to work with, but you as the selector, you are the one that's going to look on the players in the region and say, well, these are the people that I'm going to give you to work with. Go out there and work with them. Knowing West Indies cricket and how Pollard is as a leader, as a man in the Caribbean, more than likely would have been able to say, all right, we need this man. But I think what Sanjay is saying, the selector, the head selector, you are the one that should have the final decision and say, well, these are the players that we are selecting. Right? Just as how some people did not make it, and we will go after the selector. We will not go after the captain to say, why was what's his name? Rutherford not selected. We will go after the selector and say this man should have been in. So I know that because of Pollard's reputation, he probably had, some amount of what you would call, into it, and he was able to really say, all right, put Gayle in. So I don't know, but this Gayle issue, I don't know we are still even on it, because if it was not only Chris Gayle, if we had a youngster and such a poor in a form, he would not be in the team. So I don't even want to talk about Gayle, because weeks leading up to the World Cup, I was telling people that based on form, this man should be nowhere near the team. You understand? And he has played how many games so far? 4? We have played 4 games or 3. So we played England, South Africa, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, and the man has failed in all of them. So it's not surprising to me. But we're still on the Pollard.
That's the thing. They didn't, let's say, look at other players in those tournaments leading up to the World Cup. They just had this one squad and kept recycling those players. They could have included some other players just to see what they were made of, or if they were in form or anything like that. They just didn't.
And I mean, to be honest, to the selectors, probably the only other batsman that would have stick a hand up like that would have been Rutherford. And they say he wasn't fit. Let me try and remember any other player that was really good in the CPL, or because we only had CPL. Rutherford was the one that Shandapai Hermage was there also. But I don't know.
I mean,
Shandapai Hermage had a century, right?
I think so. Yes, he did.
Yes,
Yeah, had a century.
He was, but him and Faf du Plessis, I think, was the only 2 centuries.
Yeah, and Kenner Lewis had a 90 something, I think. All right, let us hear who else is there. Sanjay, not Sanjay, Sachin, are there? What's your take on the Pollard captaincy and the issue with Pollard?
Yeah, I'm here. Where I'm coming from, I think Pollard is actually one of our greatest captains out there. And I mean, you have captains have a bad tournament and bad thing. I would say give him a couple more tournaments, let him captain, and if he's not good from there,
tournaments are series. You want him in tournaments would be like World Cup or thing.
Series. Sorry about that. Yeah, series. Give him an assess the way thing, and then from there move on. I would say go to a younger captain, as in like Nicholas Puran. You have Puran there, yeah, he's the vice captain, but you don't want to throw him into the captaincy role.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to throw him into the captaincy role when Pollard them leave because he will need that experience with someone that's been there for a while, captaining the team to help him out.
Mm-hmm.
So
South
I would
If
Africa
say
gave
don't.
Graham Smith the captaincy at 22. That is all I will say. South
Mm.
Africa gave Graham Smith the captaincy at about 22. Puran and Hitty and those guys are way older than Graham Smith was. We have to make big decisions.
Well,
Give
yeah,
it.
they have
Mm-hmm.
the. I think the selectors will have to come up and make that big decision. Yes, people might not want it to happen, but at the end of the day, it's the youth that's gonna lead our team into the future. I think if Puran takes over and Pollard and the senior guys leave, you have Hetty who was there to captain on the 19 squad. He has his role and his experience in captaincy. So where I'm coming from is Pollard should be there for a couple more series, and
Mm-hmm.
then they
All
should
right.
assess his situation.
When
All right.
last week we did make our semi-finals in the World Cup? How long ago? What I
20,
mean, 20, huh? Sorry, go ahead.
I think probably 2016.
No, I think we
No.
win. We win that 2014.
Mm.
When Sri Lanka kicked us out, Sri Lanka knocked us out Duckworth Lewis. I don't remember the year.
All right, so I'm looking at something here, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
for the discussion's sake. 2014, the team, Darren Sammy, captain. Samuel Badri, Dwayne Bravo, Johnson Charles, Shendal Cottrell, Andrew Fletcher, Chris Gayle, Sunil Narang, Dinesh Ramdin, Rafi Rampal, Andrew Russell, Marlon Samuels, Kemaru Santoki, Lendal
Mm-hmm.
Simmons, Dwayne Smith, and we did not win the World Cup. Sammy wasn't fired. Sammy come the next World Cup and win.
But it wasn't an embarrassment though. We went out and Duckworth
But he
Lewis.
failed.
We went out
He
and Duckworth
failed.
Lewis. No, we went
He
out and
failed.
Duckworth
Look
Lewis.
at the team Sammy had. Narayan and all of them, and he failed. Sammy
But Sammy
did
was
not
a
win the World
previous
Cup in
champion. He was a
2014.
previous champion. Sammy had cachet to work with. When you have political capital as a leader, you could mess
What
up
I'm
some.
saying is,
Pollard
based
has
on
no
your
political
logic,
capital.
based on your
What does he
logic,
want us?
so
What does he want us to deserve this
so who's the hell
undeserved
accountable in
loyalty?
2014 when Sammy lose? Who must be held
Mm.
accountable? Tell me. And what must we do when someone fails? Who to blame?
When Sammy
I
was
think
there,
He
he was
failed
taking
at Duckworth Lewis.
responsibility.
Duckworth
While
Lewis is a
Pollard
leader.
is in
He was
here
empty.
doing press conferences and he is blaming it on other people. He's not blaming it on himself.
Who's
And
that?
he's saying to us, like, trust the process. How
Just
long are we going to trust the process?
Pollard said when he lost that he take responsibility, that he and the other
they
older
say
players.
he himself and the other senior guys.
My point is simply this: West Indies in the World Cup 2014 did not win.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They win one before and then they win after. But the point is, they had a lot
I
of good
think.
players. I
Mm.
was doing research, I was keeping quiet because I don't just like to talk. I don't just
Yeah.
like to talk. Right? Based
I think.
on what you are saying with those type
Mhm.
of players and accountability, he should have been fired.
I think
No,
I think
Ian, no,
I
I'm
think
not
the
saying
difference. I think probably the difference would be because they
manner.
won a previous World Cup. He was going in as remember I won the previous World Cup, you know.
Worse yet. You want a previous World Cup, you have a big team. You see the point? This is my point I'm bringing. If you could have won a World Cup before and you come and didn't win this time, why it is because Pollard didn't make it? I am saying why it is because Pollard didn't make it. You want to bust Pollard throat. He's held accountable. Taking responsibility don't mean somebody must be fired.
Ian, the
Right.
manner in which we lost was somebody
Of
has
course.
to be held accountable.
And we know why
That's the
too.
manner in which we lost. Listen, when Sammy went out, let me remind you, we went out on the Duckworth Lewis method again.
I think it was
The game
semi-final.
got rained out. No, it was still in the group stage. We didn't make
Oh, it was in the
semi-finals.
group.
The game got rained out. We didn't lose that game. We had our destiny in our own hands in that game. And Mother Nature
Yeah, I
kicked
remember
us
that
out.
one.
All right. So what I would
So
tell
what
you,
I'm saying to you is this:
good brother.
Sammy. No, let me finish. Sammy has political capital as a leader because he won the previous tournament. Pollard has no such capital to work with. He hasn't delivered us any great prize.
Yet.
So that should warrant him continuing.
Yet.
Mhm.
So
All right.
what else can we go on but yet?
Yet,
All right, let me hear Ian finish up, then we hear Mr. Lover. We haven't heard Mr. Lover, you know.
what I'm saying is that
Silent man that.
we are very emotional people. It was one thing, right? When you make your decisions in life, you got to step back a little bit, take some deep breaths and say, listen, yes, Pollard field, but who really have the kind of authority to captain that side and where people will be listening and so on. And you see, if Pollard was not playing CPL again, I can understand, but he just come out of CPL and they did fairly well. He just come out with Mumbai Indians and okay, they didn't make it big, but he was very instrumental also in hitting some runs and doing whatever and managing the team. Also was Bravo. So they went with a lot of the people who they thought was experienced at the highest level of T20 cricket. I am telling you, it's unfortunate. And I will think the biggest lesson in this is humility. Because had we not behaved the way we had behaved, singing, dancing,
it's embarrassing.
And just focus on the match, I feel we'll do better. But that doesn't mean you have to look it up. Throughout the history of a lot of great leaders and different things, they would have had periods in life where they fail and they open their eyes and they realize, listen, maybe I lack a certain level of humility. Maybe I need to pinch myself, check myself, and go forward in the future with a better mindset, right? So it happens because remember that, as I told you earlier, just before pride is the fall. And from the time you start to sing a song about licks, you're beating everybody and you end up getting all the licks. It tells you something. It tells you there's a message God is speaking to you.
Yeah.
I believe them fellas learned the lesson. I believe Pollard learned his lesson. Secondly, I am glad that this played through so that Mr. Chris Gayle now could not step down now. Because you know now you ain't good enough. If you wasn't sure, you know now.
You know. Confirmation.
You have done nothing. You have done nothing even for your club. They and all. Remember when he left the club early?
The man left the bubble. The man left the bubble saying that he was going to refresh himself, and people were saying, "Look at the commitment."
Yes.
And I was saying, look at the man using. I was saying, look at the man using psychology to trick the people. Look at the man. The man shouldn't even be. The man shouldn't even be anywhere near the team.
I give him the benefit of the doubt. You know why? I always feel you give man rope, you give them rope. I say,
give them right,
let me see what will happen. Come out the bubble. I know he come out. I really believe he come out the bubble because them tell him right, we don't want to embarrass you.
That's it.
But we're not playing you anymore.
But the man wasn't doing anything in the bubble. Nothing. He wasn't doing anything.
So he come out the bubble.
That was too funny.
Yeah.
Yes. So the reality is, I think now he has been gently let down. He cannot argue with anybody if he's not picked anymore for any West Indian team.
Exactly.
He cannot argue. He have to apologize to Ambrose now. Right? You have to go to Ambrose and say, boss, I'm really sorry. Because
that's not going to happen. You know where he's from?
Where are you from? The Caribbean?
From Jamaica.
That not happen.
Good one, Ian. Good one.
That will never happen.
I believe, listen, I believe there's hope for everybody. I feel he will. I feel he will.
Wait,
you kind of apologize. Look, if Mikey Holden can apologize, anybody can apologize.
The difference with personality. There's a difference with personality.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, let us hear Mr. Lover. I think Mr. Lover is still there. I have a question for you, Marlon, after Mr. Lover. Yeah, Mr. Lover. I think we heard from Sachin already on the captaincy topic. Yeah, man.
Okay. Honestly,
I think we're
Pollard let us down this year, World Cup. Pollard let us down this World Cup, but I'll give him 2 more series. And then probably from February after the India series, if he's not performing, cut him off.
All right.
Nicholas so captaincy, have Jason Holder mentor him.
All right. So you're not even Pollard would be in the team still, but you don't want Pollard to mentor him based on his track record. All right. Here's a question now to Marlon, especially. say for example, Virat Kohli hadn't announced that he's going to step down after this tournament, and India, well, if New Zealand win against Afghanistan, India will go out. Say for example, Virat Kohli did not announce that he's going to step down from the captaincy. If they were to go out at this round, what do you think you would do with where Virat Kohli is concerned?
Well, we're speaking in hypotheticals.
Yes, man.
We're speaking in hypotheticals. But let me say this. You realize that India has fired or not retained Ravi Shastri as their coach. Ravi Shastri, who presided over 2 series victories in Australia back-to-back, and beat England at home, and they didn't retain him as a captain. As a coach, that is how accountability works. They were going in a new direction, and the man wins so much. Back to Kohli now. In my opinion, that would be for the Indian people to decide. However, the manner has to be taken into consideration. And the discussion was there before.
Keep in mind his track record, Keep in mind his captaincy is I think this is not his first.
People could make a case that Kohli has failed the white ball teams and drop him on that basis alone.
All right.
Because he has failed the white ball teams. The red ball teams now, I mean, they've been really good. But Kohli has consistently, not as an individual player, but the teams have consistently failed under him.
That is why I'm asking, what would you do?
He probably would give somebody else a chance.
Because right now the best white ball captain in India is Rohit Sharma, whether they believe it or not.
And this is the thing, Lennox. When you say you want to relieve somebody of the captaincy, it does not therefore mean you kick him out the team.
No man. These guys will make the team easily, man. We're just talking about they led the ship. They weren't leading it properly. So you give somebody, you remove them and get somebody else in.
Yes,
but these guys would make the team easily.
Yes, I wanted to clarify that so people don't know where I'm saying Pollard should never play for West Indies again. No.
No man.
Give somebody else a chance to lead, because at the end of the day, people will have to learn on the job. That is how cricket works as a leader. You have to learn on the job. Give the next leader who you expect to be a young man a rope, like Ian would say, to hang himself. Give him a series with which to understand the ins and outs and how the game works. As opposed to, I hear people say, give Pollard a few more series. So if those series don't go well, that is less time for this new captain to be installed before Australia. So if you give them on 2 series now, remember, we don't play that much T20 games anyway as a team. So Australia is a year away. Give a new person a chance to lead the team, to give them time for Australia. That is my thing.
All right, so Pooran now, back to Pooran. If he should be given these 2 series or these couple of series, you think that would be enough time for him to really go up against Australia and expect him to perform well as a captain? I know he will continuously learn while he's there, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough time.
But Lennox,
probably the question is, do you think Pooran is ready to lead this group?
No, but I think we are making a premature decision to say Pooran full stop.
No man, Hetmyer as captain. Let me just clear this. I heard somebody mention Hetmyer. Hetmyer as captain at the junior level, but his maturity will not allow him to captain this team. Pooran has matured far better than Hetmyer. Not saying he's more tactically aware than Hetmyer and all of that, but based on maturity, I doubt Hetmyer will nudge Pooran. You notice they are pushing him to go there. Based on his
above
so and I guess it has to do with his whole demeanor in and around the squad, how they see him behave and things like that.
Very humble young man and articulate. Even though I think Jason is the most articulate player West Indies has.
Easy.
Wait, can I say something before? When Pooran was captain in I think they were playing against Australia.
Against Australia and
most of the time he was behind the stumps. And when I was looking at the game, every ball that Hetty was either at I think mid long on and long off. He was somewhere in the circle, and he would always go and he would talk to the ball and he would move the field around more than what Puran did, and that's what confused me a little in that tournament. As though I was wondering if Puran get this captaincy role, should there be another wicketkeeper permanently behind the stumps and let him be out in the field, helping
No,
his
but
team?
usually, but the problem though, I mean, having to wicket keep and to bat and captain, it's a whole lot of work, you know. But in terms of seeing the game, and being able to make certain decisions, the wicket keepers are usually spot on when it comes on to seeing the game, you know.
No referrals go ahead without
probably
wicket keeper saying something.
Wicket keeper. Probably when I see Hetmeyer doing certain things, I don't want to down talk poor, you know, but I guess that was Bravo giving him message to pass around the field. Because nobody cannot convince me that Bravo did not captain us there. Nobody cannot convince me.
Either way, I don't think it's problematic that Bravo shadow captain.
No man.
Because it's at the end of the day, once these guys move on like they are, these younger guys have no option but to make these decisions. Because if Bravo and Gayle and those other guys are not there for second opinions, they have to go in whoever.
You have to go in. And automatically, Bravo being on the field, Bravo would assume command, even though he didn't have the title. Automatically, being a senior man, you know, he's helping to mentor poor, and automatically, without anybody telling him, he would assume not to overstep him or overshadow poor, but automatically, as a good leader, Bravo would point out things.
So let me ask a question. We have a match tomorrow. No, Sri Lanka, look, I don't want to say the word wicked enough. Forgive me, but they bust retail, okay, no? They say, all right, we go make West Indies pay. But don't worry, you'll catch Germany Test Series, don't worry, yeah? You'll catch Germany Test Series and go deal with them. But what I'm saying is, we have a match tomorrow against Australia. You know them saying us like food, eh?
Oh yes.
What will happen tomorrow, boy? They say us like dinner.
But the problem no. Problem with Australia, as they would say, coming with blood in their eyes. Remember we embarrassed them the other day, you know.
Yes.
But not only that, Lennox, we've consistently defeated Australia in World T20s over the years.
I hear that, but players know.
I remember when Gayle demolished Brickley at the over. I will never forget that Gayle.
Gayle got some run.
Fast and furious.
Yeah, that's the younger version you're talking about.
Yes, the younger version, not this game.
Not this one at all.
I think that to me is still the biggest six I ever seen. Like 109 feet in the year, I think. Gayle smashed.
So if you go on tomorrow, eh?
Yes, tomorrow is going to make for a good watch if both of the teams turn up. I hear what happened now, Ian. You can almost say some of the top superstars are struggling in both teams. David Warner, I think, had a 65 to help them win the first game, if I'm not mistaken. But he has been struggling similarly to how Gayle has been struggling. The good thing is that David Warner got a good innings out of the way, so he might fire, right? Aaron Finch, good captain. I don't know if he has been putting up some big numbers, you know. So I think Evan Lewis would match up with him.
But exactly. So bowler? They have a bowler.
Yeah, man. I'm going to get to him. Yeah, Evan Lewis will probably take care of him where the matchup is concerned. I don't know if they will play Stephen Smith, right? I don't know if they will play him. But the problem for us, I think the problem man for
Australia have been calling for Mitch Marsh to replace Steve Smith.
Exactly. The problem man for him is Mitch Marsh. I think he came in the last game, you know. I think he's the one that hit the winning run. If I'm not wrong. You know, the problem would probably be
him in the England game. They dropped him for England.
I think the guy making some runs in the middle order is I think Maxwell is on form. Maxwell and who has been making the runs for them? Wade.
I I couldn't tell you. I didn't watch much of the
Yeah,
game.
but generally speaking, they haven't been. It's not like they're making a lot of runs.
They've
But
not been
Maxwell is
set the world alight.
yeah,
And they
Maxwell is
failed
an
to
okay
chase.
form,
They failed
and
to
Wade
chase
is not
100
in
and something
bad form.
against South Africa. England demolished them.
No, they chased it against South Africa, man.
No, I said they struggled.
But yeah, oh, they struggled. They
They
struggled.
struggled mightily.
Could they still
ball-
qualify? Could they
Uh,
qualify?
They would have to beat us.
No, they cannot. They're already eliminated.
Yes.
Hold on. So
No,
in our no man in
I
our
run rate,
group,
you still have a chance.
yeah,
It's still
England
have a
is
chance.
already in. If they beat us badly tomorrow, Australia.
And South Africa lose to England, Australia would go through.
Mm-hmm.
Australia
So
still has a
it
chance.
depends. It
Yes.
depends. But to the bowling now, I think Ian was mentioning Mitchell Stark.
Yes.
We have had an issue with that left arm pace bowler. You understand? We would want Evan Lewis to take him out. We would want Evan Lewis to take him out. Gayle, the younger version of Gayle, struggled against left arm
Yeah, I
swing bowler.
expect Gayle to be playing tomorrow, obviously not.
Yeah, you don't expect him to play.
No.
But you know what I don't like? For
Yeah.
somebody like Fletcher, I think it's an insult to play him tomorrow. People like
Mhm.
Fletcher,
They might be
and
maximum.
Rashid Ahmad. It's an insult to play them tomorrow. I'm being honest. These guys came here to play and to give them a chance after the World Cup is finished. And it's not like these guys are young, developing cricketers where you say, hey, go out there, guys, and show us what you will show us. It's really an insult to play those guys tomorrow.
And I think but Fletcher never make me lose the only match we win.
It's going to be a good matchup though, and let us not forget that West Indies were so susceptible to spin bowling, and Adam Zampa, I think he took 5 wickets yesterday, almost got a hat trick, but
Yes,
the keeper dropped a catch. So going up against West Indies with that sort of confidence, it might even trouble us more than the pace bowlers. You understand? Because he picked up 5 wickets in the last game.
Yes.
The bowlers, they have Zampa, they have Mitchell Stark, they have Josh Hazelwood is there, right? Bowling the test match line and length.
Yeah.
He's there. Usually, when you bowl good line and length against West Indies, more often than not, you are successful because you are going to do something mad.
When you say line and length, you're talking about wicket to wicket or line and length meaning
yeah, man, good wicket to wicket, off stump, right? And those sort of bowlers usually, get wickets against us because we're going to do madness, right?
So if we win tomorrow, if we win, or you will feel a little better. If you feel a little better, if we beat up on Australia real bad, but you might feel a little better. You'll feel a little better.
Beating Australia always brings some amount of good feeling, but it doesn't cover the wound. They would come in like as they would say, putting a band-aid over. Putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound.
It would be good to spoil somebody's party.
Yeah, it would be good to spoil your party. It's a question similar to what I heard them ask Aaron Finch the other day.
Yeah.
When I think it was yesterday when he won his game. The commentator, the guy interviewing asked him if he will be supporting England, to beat I think it's South Africa. And what he said was that they they will have to play the game they will have to play their game and let luck take care of whatever else, But he didn't want to outrightly say that he's going to support England, but
Yes.
but it's not going to bring any sort of good feeling in terms of the tournament itself. But if we can take Australia with us, why not? Let us take them with us.
Somebody had to take. Yeah, we had to do something.
Yeah, man, let's take them with us.
Yeah. After Sri Lanka torture we. Sri Lanka wicked away. The real come out for you.
From I think from the power play after finishing off the power play, and we noticed that we weren't able to take 2 or 3 wickets. From that, the head starting to drop. Not to mention over 10-11 when they reach 100, the head started to go like that. So
what?
yeah, it was just poor.
That's pressure.
Nasanka, and I
And
cannot pronounce the next
Alasanka,
name.
Asalanka.
Asalanka, yes. I mean, those batsmen look like really good batsmen for the future.
And the guys are young, Marlon. They are young.
Lennox, if you look at the two teams that were out there, one team is at the end of their life cycle, and the next one is just beginning their life cycle.
Just beginning, exactly.
I mean, these guys are all in their mid to early 20s.
Young guys.
And the next thing is, what I've been saying is that the captain is the next young guy from under 19 World Cup of a few years gone. And they give him a chance. And they give him a chance at the World Cup stage. Now, mind you, his team went out. However, you see the confidence that this team is building. This is a really in-sync team that if they continue on the same trajectory, we will see them as a better team in Australia.
And I think they might be very much better prepared than a lot of teams going into Australia, because I think the only team that would have lost more players than them in the last couple of years would, or maybe not even so much, South Africa. South Africa, they have lost Dale Steyn, Faf du Plessis, Morris, Vernon Philander. They have lost quite a number of players. Sri Lanka now, they have lost in short order, Kumar Sangakkara, Mahela Jawardena. They have lost Lasith Malinga and
Would you call Dilshan?
Dilshan, it has been a couple of years, but yeah man, they have lost him also. You know, 4 to 5 players, and Matthews
either.
Yeah. So these 4 to 5 players, they would be considered to be core. And this Sri Lanka team now, Asalanka, Hasaranga, Nisanka.
Mendes too, and
they lost Ajanda Mendes a couple of years back. So these guys are coming in together. As I said, Hasaranga, Nisanka, these guys would have played under 19 cricket together. You understand? These guys are around 24, 25, 23, they're about. So a good group of guys coming through. We could argue that we have players in the same age group, but if you look at the maturity level or how they took responsibility, it's a bit different. We have Pooran, Hetmyer, and Akil Hussain, but these guys probably took the responsibility to a different level. I guess because we had elder players, we had older players to start. We had older players to start to shepherd us. But these guys took it up.
We deep and tell them to swim.
Yeah, but it's only one match.
Tell them to swim.
It's not only we they beat.
No, they beat Bangladesh also.
I think the one against Bangladesh and the one against us.
That the two bottom teams, they beat we and Bangladesh.
Funny enough,
over outside of beating South Africa also.
Yeah, funny enough, they barely lost against South Africa. And you see, Bangladesh, in all honesty, even though Australia, South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies are big teams, I'm almost tempted to say that I'm disappointed in the way how Bangladesh performed. I mean, they didn't win with the best of batsmen. Yeah.
We are terrible.
I was hoping that they put up a fight against Australia.
When I see it, I say we did.
It was a bit surprising.
Well, I see it batted about 13 or 14 for about 5 wickets or something.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. It wasn't good.
I hear that, man. But they have some of the sweetest batsmen. I see a man hit a drive. Listen, if you see that beautiful drive that man hit and get out right after also that 4 runs and then get catch, they play naive. Like I find they play like West Indies or something. Hit you some nice shots and then make a reckless swing or some kind of thing. I was ready. When I see that, I realized, you see, that understanding predestined and preordained. And a man believe in them thing, boy. That is the writing on the wall there. Nothing working. Nothing.
And I mean, losing Shakib, not only his 4 overs and his batting ability, but his whole personality in the team.
Yeah.
I think they lost him. He didn't play in about 2 of the games. So that was a big loss. You know, that would be like us losing Chris Gayle when he was firing and carrying the team.
Okay,
You remember when Gayle was carrying us?
Yes,
you know,
yes.
that would be like losing him. You know, because
Guys,
Shakib
I got a
is expected
question
to.
when y'all finish.
Yeah, man. I'll let you go after. You know, Shakib is expected to bowl 4 overs for 26, 27 runs and pick you up 2 or 3 wickets. He's expected to come and swing the bat and get some runs. So, it was a big loss.
We were Miss Narayan. We were Narayan opening and bowling too.
Yeah, I mean,
Narayan can come and hit the little 6 and then come out.
Boy, I tell you, it's only a pity that he wasn't fit, eh?
All the fellas did something else. Boy. They do Narayan. Poor Narayan can't even play international cricket again.
Yeah, it's a pity that he wasn't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sachin.
That's a loser. Okay.
Like how this World Cup of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Namibia, and Scotland had to qualify to play in the Super 12s. Like, was the requirement for you to be like how West Indies and the big names them were already included in the Super 12? Do you think next year World Cup West Indies might have to qualify for the World Cup?
It's possible.
It's a strong possibility because I think you have to stay in the you have to be in the eight. In eight,
Top
you have to be.
eight,
I think
top eight.
8 is the lowest. Yeah.
We only make it, I think, because we were the champions or some kind of thing.
That's
That's
how we made it.
Yeah, I think you would call it a wild card.
Yeah, you got
wild card. Yeah, but if we continue like that, Sanjay, good question, good point to highlight. If we continue like how we are doing, it probably it's a possibility. But on the flip side, we can look at things in a different light. Yeah. As Marlon was saying, we have a couple of youngsters in. If it is the case that Puran starts to captain the team, it might sort of instill his own ideas. Start to get the younger guys to work with him. The drive will be there.
Yeah.
Not saying that some of these older guys don't have the drive, but these younger guys starting their career, they will want to perform at the international level.
Yeah, they will want to go out and prove a point.
Yeah, and start fending IPL contract, fetching IPL contract. So, and I heard, I think it was Ian Bishop saying Puran is a guy that is well respected at the international level. At the franchise level, he would have proven himself at the franchise level already, right? Both in T10 and in IPL. Not as captain, but he has proven himself as an international.
He proved
batsman.
himself in the CPR as a captain
and CPL.
Yeah, but we have to be careful because Namibia and them places just not going to be beaten with. Namibia playing some good.
Is it Namibia that has the left arm pace bowler?
It is.
I think
Yes.
What's his name? It's not Trumpleman.
David Wisa? Is that
No, not Wisa.
Not Wisa. Wisa is good, but
it's the blonde-haired fella you're talking about.
Yeah, man. I don't remember his name. He actually got punished against one of the teams, and I think India punished him, but he's good. He looks good. Good.
That's some good fellas, man.
We spoke about him on the live before, Marlon.
Yes, he probably have a German last name, though, because a lot of those, Namibians white Namibians are of German descent.
Well, you guys can see who y'all talking about. I got the bowlers them in front of me. It has some shouts. It has Trumpleman. It has Wisa, Smith.
Probably
Trumpleman, man. I think it's Trumpleman. Yeah, man. But it's you see, looking forward, guys. We have the quality, but it's not the first time that we would have seen a couple of youngsters burst on the scene, and then we have a transition problem. Usually, we have the transition problem from under 19 to the international level. We have a couple of guys that would have played international cricket already, so we are hoping that with the likes of Lendl, Simmons, Gayle, all of these guys in their mid to high 30s, early 40s, looking to go. We're hoping that these guys will definitely step up and grab the opportunity.
What Bravo was saying, which is true, which we really look at. He said West Indies created a legacy now in T20. And it's true, because if we already have 2 World Cups, then you could compare that kind of like to how West Indies was in the past, when no one used to beat them in like tests or different things. Just that is in T20 is a new niche, but it's a niche that we kind of dominate over.
Dominated for a while.
And this is our thing about the losing and thing. Yeah.
And to add to that, Ian, in the same interview there, the same comment, what Bravo said also was that, you know, they won 2 games, two titles there. They dominated for a while, but he also included that the game has transitioned a bit and would have left them. So they need to, they need to catch up, and they need to make sure that they keep up with what is going on, right? So he made sure to highlight that they won a couple of games. So I think even Ian Bishop highlighted it, that, you know, we won, we dominated playing a particular brand of cricket. Not saying that we are to throw away our poor hitting, but we need to adapt the philosophy or the idea that our guys also need to be able to bat. You understand? Just like how we dominate with the bat, bowlers are starting to dominate. So you need to be able to play smart cricket.
What do you feel when you, in the first 6 overs, I want to hear the panel, tell me, if you play responsible, right, and your first 6 overs, you have the fielders in, what do you feel is a winning foundation for the first 6 overs?
Why, with two fielders outside of the circle, also bearing in mind that you're a good batsman, you're gonna have equally good bowlers going up against you, bowling good line and length. That will not necessarily give you an opportunity to hit the ball in the areas that that you don't have fielders covering. But finishing 6 overs with 30, 35, I don't like it. I want to see 50, 60. I want to see 50 and 60 and 70. That's what I want to see.
But that's not what I want to see.
Yeah, it's not going to happen every day of the week. It's not going to happen every day of the week, but 50, 55,
with how many wickets down?
If you lose 1 wicket, 2 wickets, I don't have an issue. But 55, 60 thereabout, I am good with that. Might be high. That's why I said that bowlers are going to be equally as good as these batsmen. You understand? But on a good day, I am okay with 55.
Right.
Listen,
so what do you think?
I want to say something to what you just said, Lennox. I think we need to take a step back, including myself, and this is because of an observation. I don't want us to say the game has passed us behind. And I think we'd be misdiagnosing the situation by doing that. This is why I say that. The same thing that we have done in the past is what England is doing right now. Make no bones about it. England is
What's the difference though?
England is not out there running a bunch of singles. Let's be honest. But they're doing a damn good job at finding the boundaries and rotating the strike here and there. The problem is that our batsmen have just passed their prime. Let's be honest. And so I don't want us to say now that power hitting is out of style. And I think I've been guilty of that.
It's not out of style, man. It's just that we're not consistently hitting them as we used to. So,
but I think the people we have doing that style and that has passed their prime.
Yeah, that's like, again.
They've just passed their prime, and we need young bloods in the system to try replicate the same thing.
But what I'm saying, right? Okay, you see, I hear what you're saying. This is why I'm trying to kind of just separate what happened in the World Cup with what recently I see with my own eyes. I see Paula hit a man for 6 sixes. So to tell me that we can't do that again. In that little space of time, he can't hit 6 sixes again. Or this guy, Lewis, can't do what he is to say to me in that little space of time you did hit so fast.
I think it would be generally speaking though, not just definitely digging down on one particular player, but generally speaking, we haven't been hitting a lot of sixes. So the Lewis that would have been smashing it, Gayle that would have been smashing it, Russell, I mean, is still smashing it here and there in the IPL. But
just had a bad series in this.
The average, no man. But if you look at the international games that we would have played before, the average of 6 hitting by the top 6 hitters, not the same. I mean, Pollard is still dominating with his 6 hitting, but the Simmons that you could expect a lot from.
Russell has
Gayle,
declined.
Russell. You understand? These guys have not been hitting a lot of
But
sixes.
Russell injury. Russell problem is injury. You know. Russell need, I think, unfortunately. Remember I was telling you that early when I tell you I make a joke and say bravo coming for Russell. Remember I tell you that when I said Darren and you laugh? No, why I say that too is because I know Russell have been plagued with injuries throughout his career. And with all that he does, in all honesty, it's like he's swimming against current. If you understand what I'm saying. It seems as though it's getting the better of him now.
Look that way.
Yeah, I feel so getting better of him. So he's not performing exactly. Look, I mean, even when he bowled well, when Puran put him on the bowl and he did very well. You see kind of medium pace Russell was good.
Yeah. Wasn't
very slow. But he was effective. But Russell, I know, is a beast. But he's just not 100. He's just not recovering to the fullest at all. That's what I find. That's what
you see. I'm going to give the other guys the opportunity to answer the question that you had asked about the power play. But what sportsmen need to understand, is that the older you get, the less likely you are to recover from injury as quick as you used to. And these guys are putting their bodies to a lot of work. They are not playing 1 league, 2 leagues. They're playing 4, 5, 6 different leagues, and expecting the body to recover in the same amount of time when they are going up in age. So it's sort of not too smart. But the other guys that are on, I'll give them a chance to answer the question because it was a good question. Sachin, Mr. Lover, you are there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Lover. Ian had asked what amount of runs you think is suitable for a team to make in a power play to show that they are unsung and they are looking to dominate batting first.
Between 60 and 80 runs, one make it down. Maybe 2.
All right. That's a whole lot.
Runs are really
It's a whole lot of runs.
That's something like more 10 it was.
But I am pretty close to what Mr. Lover is saying. He's saying between 60 and 80, but I would maybe be okay with 55 to 60.
40 is okay. I don't think 40 is good.
I would be okay. I don't know if it is because I have been spoiled watching some good power hitting, but between 55 to 60 in my opinion. Sachin, what say you?
I say they go about 9 runs and over and get about 55 too. But this is where it comes in difficult. I say if you want to show that you want to dominate the batting, go 55 without loss in the power play.
Oh, it's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely, yeah.
Yeah, but it shows that you're stepping up. You're stepping up to dominate.
Wait, I know you gotta go around, but after that I wanna ask tomorrow game. I know it's not that important of a game, but if you win or you lose the toss, what would you want to do?
If we do what?
If you win the toss, what you want to do? Bat first or bowl first?
Oh. Well, it's the last game. We're looking to finish with a win, so I might go with what always work for us, And then again, it depends on the dew factor. If they think a lot of dew is going to be there, then they're going to want to bowl first. But if everything being equal and everything is okay, I go and ask them to bat first. Let Australia bat first. And but then again, with the bowling that we saw in the last game, that might be asking Australia to pile up 250 against us.
Yeah,
but looking to finish off on a high note, I go and stick with what usually work for us, generally speaking. So I might ask them to bat first and then I will chase.
Talking about looking to go out on a high note, do we give O'Shane Thomas a game tomorrow or keep him in the dark again?
Yeah, very bring it on. Cadewers. Bring him on. Cadewers.
Boy, I don't know if I want
Let me tell you why I've already said I think it's somewhat of an insult to give these guys a chance at this point. Considering that we had them there for so long and the team was failing and you didn't give them a chance. It really is a slap in their face. Because as much as how we might not have any confidence in them, they are looking at the team and saying, but Lennox, when you watch a team fail and
they are not doing any better.
Yes. So I think those guys would not feel good if they play tomorrow.
They might think there's an opportunity to show.
It would be like two football teams playing. It would be like two football teams playing. One team is down 5-0, and then the coach look at a player on the bench and say, all right,
Yes.
1 minute to go in stoppage time, go out there. I can't score 5 goals for the team in 1 minute.
You
I don't want to go out there. I don't want to go there. So I understand though.
That aside,
I understand.
That aside,
But
West Indies bowling attack Lennox has no team. Like I said, they have
but having said
this,
when you flip the coin, you can look more wicked than the fellas and get no sweat at all too.
having said that though, O'Shane, two new IPL teams were just announced. So having said that, O'Shane might be say, okay, give me the opportunity, let me go out there and see if I can rough up a couple of guys with big name. David Warner, Aaron Finch,
make some money.
Smith if they play, and IPL team might look at me. Say, well, this guy might be able to work with
IPL and David Warner might not.
but reputation. These guys have reputation. You understand? David Warner will be let go by Sunriser. Yeah, but these guys are guys with names, so people will take note. But as I said, Marlon, it's going to be tough to really ask these guys to come in, and do a thing.
I mean, I would at least give him a chance because in the CPL he played. I think in the CPL he played well.
Cool.
The CPL, you were watching the CPL?
I mean, Ocean ball a bit economical in the CPL when he played for Barbados, man.
In the first 3 games. In the first 3 games.
Yeah, the first couple games.
The Lord.
He traveled after. And I don't mean to another country.
I think he played 2 games and didn't do too badly, or was the 3rd game?
I think
you don't remember Sachin? Is that Sachin? You don't remember they had to pull him?
I think Ocean and finish a match.
Wait, let me look up on this.
The first 3 games were okay. After that, boy, he traveled.
I just see ball flying from all parts of the stadium.
All
parts. Bow 6, 4, bow, edge 4, edge 6. I said, this man go end the match. That's what I said, end a match faster.
Problem with him behind that stumps. When he was a spirit all over the place.
Chacha.
I got 2 points, gentlemen. One,
yeah, Miss Oliver.
What is your 11 for tomorrow? And number 2, the discussion of the test team selection.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, we're going to deal with the test team. I put him back.
The test team something good.
I vote we move on to the test team and don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself.
Those guys are putting them out here to go and shame themselves again. I don't want the last.
I think so.
Don't get me wrong, but one change is there definitely. Aiden Walsh must come in.
Oh, Aiden Walsh.
Aiden Walsh must come in.
Especially having performed against Australia the other day, eh?
Yep, he must come in.
I don't know, boy. I think, I mean, bring any freshmen, but you said they might be insulted, but me and that boy, as sports listen, is opportunity to showcase your talent.
Yeah, man.
Get contract. Remember, it's about money, eh? If them yeah.
That is what I want.
I mean, if somebody stand up there and hit a 60, 70, who know walking? I mean, people watching, eh?
But yes, it really is. It's a matter of perspective, Ian. It's how they look at it,
Yeah.
Look at it as if these people are disrespecting me, or they go look at it like, hey, I have an opportunity now. Let me go and prove myself, and
exactly.
I would have done.
Exactly.
So it's a matter of perspective.
And then you might set up yourself for the Sri Lanka series.
Yes.
Right? You might set up yourself to get in there.
There's a story about life. We all have to learn to stoop sometimes to conquer at a certain level of humility. They're really calling you now to say, well, look, we getting a little thing. You know, we done lost the series, but we okay, a little choke, you know, don't think nothing. But you know what to grab on that and be humble enough to accept it and do your best and good things could come your way. You know what I mean?
Right now, the only sad thing coming out of this World Cup for me, well, I shouldn't say the only sad thing, but Bravo retiring is the only thing that I am going to feel. Right, the way they went into this World Cup, I didn't expect any better. You understand? But losing Bravo, I mean, Bravo didn't cover himself in glory, but the Bravo that I know, I am going to miss him. I am definitely going to miss Bravo. I am going to miss Bravo. But I am not going to hide and tag. I'm going to miss Bravo.
But he should not sing that song. You should not sing that song and he ain't win no match or nothing. Licks, and now they get only licks. That's a prophecy.
Funny enough, I didn't even know that Pollard could dance, and I saw even Pollard in the video dance.
That is how bad it gets. That's how bad it gets.
I didn't even know the man was
one of the men on the video couldn't even make it because they had to say injured earlier clock. What's his name again? What is the name of our player?
Fabian Allen.
One time, if you see
Fabian Allen was so smooth, full of rhythm. Smooth and full of rhythm, and you know, we didn't get much out of him because of the ankle injury.
That video kills all of them.
Yeah, man, big dancer, you know, big dancer. All right, let me remind you guys of the team, of the squad, right? So we have Craig Brathwaite, Jermaine Blackwood, Nkrumah Bonner, Raston Chase, Raheem Cornwall, Joshua Da Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Hola, Shea Hope, Kyle Myers, Versamy Permal, Kemar Roach, Jaden Seals, Jeremy Solozano, and Jamal Warrican. Right? So those are the guys that were selected to go over there.
Very good.
Right. So I am probably thinking Craig Brathwaite. Right. The only opener that is there, Shea Hope will not open. Right, so the only opener, according to Roger Harper, might go off what Roger Harper is saying. Solozano, he might open. So Craig Brathwaite, Solozano, probably Nkrumah Bonner. Right, they are saying Shea Hope will come at number 4. So I guess he's going to play as a batsman, seeing that Darren Bravo is not in the team. Wait, Brooks isn't there.
No,
Brooks isn't there. So simply means Shea Hope will play as a batsman and will bat at number 4. All right, number 5. I think they might have Blackwood, Jason Holder at 6. What's his name? The Trinidadian keeper. That Silva will come at 7. At 7. At number 8. Who is that number? Number 8.
Roach.
No man, not Roach as yet. Raston Chase is
Listen, this test team is very tricky to pick.
This is problem enough.
Let me tell you why.
This is problem because if Chase is going back at number 4, if Hope is going to bat at number 4, then Chase not going to play. This right here is problem.
Listen,
this is problem.
To me, the biggest issue, Lennox and panelists. How do you pick the bowlers to go in this game? Listen,
that is the problem.
At the end of the day, Warrican, at the end of the day, you are going with 2 frontline spinners. Brathwaite can turn his hand over in the subcontinent and probably Nkrumah Bonner.
Blackwood.
But you will go with 2 frontline spinners. So Cornwall and Warrican will play.
That is
Which
the problem.
Which one of the bowlers do you drop and who do you keep? Do you keep Seals? Do you keep Roach? Because
those guys will play.
Shannon and Seals cannot play. And in the subcontinent condition, they don't need to.
Shannon go play. Shannon and Roach will start.
You see, that is tricky. That is very tricky in Marland because Nkrumah, Craig Brathwaite, Solozano being a youngster is going to need cover. Nkrumah Bonner has not been on the best of form, so you need somebody that can bat to come at number what 4. So you're definitely going to need.
I think Bonner is at number 3.
They need Chase.
Yeah, no man. Nkrumah Bonner is going to bat at number 3 now.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have a youngster at opening, Solozano. We definitely can't bang on him too much. So we need somebody at number 4. She-Hope or Chase. That is the problem.
I tell you that I will go with Chase.
Oh, so you're not going with She-Hope?
No, I feel right now Chase could be more stable.
You see, that is the thing, you know, because
I would fight on that.
You see, I like Chase, you know. I like Chase. And that for some reason they don't want to bat She-Hope at number 7. So he will not play over Joshua Da Silva. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't want to bat him at number 7. Maybe he's too pretty to bat at number 7, but that is a problem there, you know. That is the problem. You notice I stuck right there, Mr. Lover.
But this is the thing. If you play him as a wicketkeeper, it does not mean you have to bat him at 7 because Quinton the Cock bats at number 6. And what his name is. So it doesn't mean you have to. If he plays as a wicketkeeper, he bats before Jason, in my opinion.
So he will bat at 6 and hold at 7.
Yeah, but investing in Joshua, they will never.
Yes, I don't think they'll drop Joshua either. I don't think they will. But for me,
there's a problem, you know. There's a problem because you need somebody that can bat at number 4. So are we then going to play She-Hope?
I'd give it to She-Hope.
So if we play She-Hope, that means Rastan Chase won't play, no?
I'd give it to She-Hope.
Oh, so we're going to work with Warwick and Cornwall then?
And Brathwaite.
And Brathwaite.
And probably in Kumabana. But I wouldn't blame anybody who wants to pick Chase over She-Hope.
Yeah. That
I think it's a flip of a kind.
I would. That would be a flip of a kind. And then I would definitely go with Roach.
You realize they drop Roach when we won against Bangladesh in the second game in the subcontinent. Roach away record is not the best enough.
It's not the best, but tear away pace won't really work. Too much Shannon Gabriel has tear away pace, both Roach has skills.
Don't work there either.
But he has skills. That is it. Yeah.
Gabriel, the point is they have backup. You know, you play your first match, and according to what you make your changes to suit, they have backup. If Shannon didn't really get through, you pull in the young boy, you work in the suit. It's a team, it's not like it's 1-11 right through. You have a starting 11, and then from the starting 11, you could always adjust, to suit.
All right. I heard somebody calling in the background. Was it Sheldon just now?
Yes, it's me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sports to the bone. This might be out of left field, but why not give Hope the gloves and put the silver to open? That way you have a place to bring in Chase.
You see, we have heard a lot about Joshua Da Silva opening, but it doesn't seem as if they are going to do that anytime soon. And the problem is that Silva. Hold on, let me finish. Da Silva, based on what I have heard, he has done very well playing in Trinidad opening. But based on what I have seen at the international level, even batting at number 6, 7 there, he hasn't really done very well against pace bowlers coming back in for their 3rd and their 4th spelling. So that is what I am worried about.
Them fresh. You don't want them fresh.
Yeah, Sheldon. So that is what I'm worried about. Based on what I'm hearing, he plays his cricket in Trinidad. He opens, but I see some weird stuff.
But
with him facing pace bowlers.
He struggles against pace.
Yeah, he really struggles.
This is the thing, though. In Bangladesh, we don't have to worry about extreme pace, but he struggles against us.
Yeah, that is what I'm worried about. Yeah, Sheldon.
Sri Lanka.
Right.
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
Remember, they were saying when the discussion first come up that for him to open, they were saying he couldn't. They didn't want him to both open and keep at the same time, but that was too much pressure for him. What I'm saying, if there's a other keeper in the side, that means he can open.
Oh, that is what they were saying. They were saying that as in regards to him not doing too much work with the keeping. But my issue is, that this is not me talking for the selectors and the coaches. My issue with that though is that I haven't been too impressed with him facing international bowlers, pace bowlers. That is my problem. So I don't know if he would be very comfortable at the top there facing these international bowlers. I understand the workload in there. You don't want your wicketkeeper to be opening in a test match. So I understand what they are talking about, the workload. So I definitely agree with them where the workload is concerned. But my problem is exposing him to the pace bowlers at the top. I don't know if his technique is ready to really go up against those guys. I think you're from Trinidad, right, Sheldon?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think you would have probably seen him more than I would have. I would have gotten a chance to see him. Based on his technique, you think he's quite ready to open at the top there?
Okay, I mean, in my opinion, none of the openers ready to open. So we have a problem. Whoever we put to open, we likely to be one down after 20 runs. So, but
would try
Joshua, I would try him simply because I want a place for pace. I need a place for Chase in the side. Because I feel Chase has some kind of steel in him. He does very, very well. Right?
Chase? Yes.
I don't want the decision between Chase and Hope to be. I would like to have both of them.
Oh. All right, I understand. And you see, if I wasn't too worried about Joshua's technique, what you're suggesting probably would work in my plan. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I don't hear anybody mention. Yeah, somebody saying.
I was saying Joshua, yes, he has to improve his technique.
Yeah, that is
that bad does be going on the inside. Yeah, I know. Like,
yeah.
Like if you on the plate on the onside all the time, sometimes. You do some nice cover drive and thing, but sometimes
exactly.
Want to twist to the
usually
one side sometimes. Yeah.
Usually after the cover drives, comes the wicket. You understand? That is what I like him as a player. He looks like somebody that will dig in and fight for the team. Seems very calm. But he needs to improve. I don't know how he would do at the top of the order, facing especially. I think we have Pakistan coming up soon also. Facing Shine Shah at 140 yard. The ball swinging. I would be worried.
It wouldn't work.
But I don't.
But he would. I think it's a good investment. He's a good guy to just. Let me see how you'll go because really more in for the keeping really, and I mean. West Indies, well, Juju and them was good. I mean, but as I said again, Derek Murray average wasn't nothing. About 13 runs, somewhere 14, but he was a great wicketkeeper. So most of your wicketkeeper is a specialist position. If you get runs, great. But really, and that's why they wouldn't really do Hope because unless we say that Hope is a better keeper than him, that's the only way Hope could take the position. If Hope is better than him as a keeper, batsman, as a keeper, because his average, Joshua average is 23 point something in this, and Hope is 25. So it's like no big difference with the average.
Yeah, and in test cricket, you want your keeper to be able to really stay solid. Right. It's not a 20 over or 50 over. The keeper has to be able to,
Always remember when you're picking a keeper in a test match, it's a specialist position.
Yeah, it's
like 2020 where you want a part-time keeper who can bat. You want a man who can. If Shea Hope is a better keeper than Joshua, then Shea Hope should get picked.
But
I noticed. You see where
highly of himself, Lennox, highly of himself as a pure batsman to get in the team as a wicketkeeper batsman.
Wicketkeeper, exactly. That is why I mentioned earlier that maybe he thinks he bats too pretty to bat at number 6-7.
Yes, so
I just didn't say it outright, but that is exactly what I was saying.
Not allow him to stoop that low. His confidence wouldn't.
I noticed nobody. No, I don't hear anybody mention. I think Richard has joined us. Richard, there.
Good evening, Sports to the Bone. Good evening, panelists. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, man, we're hearing you loud and clear. You catch us in the middle of discussing the test squad that was selected and selecting our 11. Yeah, before I give you a chance, Kyle Myers, I noticed everybody just selecting around Kyle Myers. You all know my opinion, Once Jason Ola is in the team, no other all-rounder gets in. Kyle Myers, based on what we are saying now, isn't going to be selected based as an out-and-out bowler. So he will not get in my team, right, as an all-rounder because Jason Ola feels that slack.
Right.
And I don't know about the other guys.
We all agree on that. We know he's a backup.
I think I heard somebody the last time we had a live. I don't remember who it was.
It was me.
Said, it was you saying that you might select him as
I've all put out Jason Hole. But what I'm saying is he's a good backup in case of any injury, Jason.
All right, so yeah, as we are on this squad here, Richard, Mr. Lover had asked us to look at the squad, the test squad, and look at the 11 players that we would probably select. I don't know if you had gotten a chance to see the test squad that was selected to go to Sri Lanka.
I have not. No, I have not. Do you want to go through the list briefly? Is it a squad?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let me just read through it quickly. So we have Craig Brathwaite, Jermaine Blackwood, Nkrumah Bonner, Ruston Chase, Raheem Cornwall, Joshua De Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Hola, Shea Hope, Kyle Myers, Versame Permal. We have Kemar Roach, Jaden Seals, Jeremy Solozano, Jamal Warrican. So those are the guys that were selected to go to Sri Lanka. 15. Right, so I don't know how familiar you are with some of the guys on the list here.
Well, pretty familiar with most of those names who are pretty familiar and well known. Was Raheem Cornwall in that 15?
Yeah, Raheem Cornwall is there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the new guy that you might not be too familiar with is a young Trinidadian by the name of Jeremy Solozano. He's an opener.
I've heard a little bit about him in the wind, and I am excited and applaud that selection. I'd love to see him in action. I've not seen him in action, but I have heard of his name, particularly on your channel, Sports to the Bone, and I'm genuinely enthused and excited at this young prospect entering the fray and rubbing shoulders with the senior members of the West Indies test match fraternity. So I think that's very much a positive step. I've only joined in the last few minutes during this test discussion. The T20 inquest must have been a warm experience, but
the postmortem, to be specific.
It was rough. Ian, I think I didn't say anything, but I think Ian made about 3 or 4 trips to the kitchen to fill up his glass of whatever he was drinking. He was rough.
Well, yeah, I can only imagine, but and I really can only imagine, and it's not a pretty look. But I'm going to jump in with this test match discussion, and first of all, I'd like to salute all the gentlemen on the panel. Sports to the Bone. I'm always conscious that on a few occasions you wear your heart on your sleeve, but it's not entirely a raw look. You call it as you see it. And that's you're a humble, respectful brother, and the way that you are at pains to actually you're very diplomatic. And I think that there's no need to be backing up and take a backward step in what you feel about the cricketing situation. I was watching Sports Max, and they had they began their inquiry, and they came up and suggested that the West Indies review is culturally potentially hamstrung, in that they don't believe that an honest insight, which is what I'm picking up on the likes of your show, would give, calling spade and being honest about what has gone wrong, what can be fixed, how do you address it, and trying to be as objective as possible, from the players to the coaching staff and not dealing with no friending and calling out certain things for the betterment of the game. I must say, when you're talking about the test match team, the first thing that crossed my mind, and then no sooner said than yourself and the likes of Ian brought this up. I think that Shea Hope and Weston Chase should be starters in any West Indian test match team as it stands. Joshua Silva, I would include in that, but I am very, very conscious of the fact that the West Indies selection team are banking on Joshua De Silva being that mainstay, that person who's a solid batsman and a quality keeper. In the test match arena, going ahead and going forward, we don't want to soft shoe this thing though. We don't want to go softly on this thing. I want to ask you guys, and I think you've given me the answer, but there's a Trinidadian member of the panel, and I'd like to hear it straight by way of an answer. Is Joshua Silva going forward, knowing that he's been opening the batting for Trinidad and Tobago, is Joshua De Silva a quality batsman and glovesman going forward for the West Indies to continually start? Shea Hope is a quality bat. Do you remember the Sri Lankan? What's the name of the great Sri Lankan keeper batsman?
Kumar
Sangakkara. Shea Hope. When you said that, is Shea Hope too pretty to be batting down there? If Sangakkara, one of the greats, we could include Gilchrist, but I mean, he was just a seismic talent with the bat as well as gloves. If Shea Hope is that kind of guy, then great. His style of batting, it's very elegant. He's a quality batsman at his best. He could more than make this team on that basis. So thinking it's too low a position for him to bat, no. Only on that basis alone. Otherwise, Shea Hope in any day of the week should be in the West Indies team. Royston Chase should be in the team, and Joshua De Silva will have to not only just bank on us relying or hoping and praying that he does what we hope or expect of him. The key thing is performance. The proof will be in the pudding. Is Joshua De Silva the man? Someone's mentioned opening, and I'd like your guys' opinion now.
My opinion is
can he open? Can he open? I don't know if he's going to be opening.
Funny enough, just before you came on, Richard, that was exactly what we were talking about as regards to in terms of Joshua Da Silva's what you call it now, technique. If his technique is at the level where he can go out there and dominate against quality pace bowling with the ball swinging at the top of the order. We had just spoke about it, but Sheldon and Ian, the two of them on the line from Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Ian had said that, as we speak, Joshua Da Silva technique need some sort of improvement. I don't remember. Well, Sheldon was the one that actually. Well, let me give him the opportunity to tell him. Sheldon, just go ahead and tell Richard what you were saying about Joshua Da Silva and batting at the top of the order.
I was saying that Joshua should bat at the top of the order and give Shea Hope the gloves so that we could make room for Royston Chase. Right? Yes, we have some concerns about his technique, but he's not afraid of the pace bowling, so to speak. So it's not to say that he's afraid the pacing, it's just that technique can with some improvement. Right? I think with time, it should come good.
So as we speak, as it stands, now, did you hear that, Sports to the Bone and fellow panelists? The gentleman's been honest in his assessment. That suggests to me that we have to be prepared for him to fail or not deliver the quality runs, be there batting Craig Braithwaite at his best, time, and accumulating runs. The question is, does the West Indian team have that time to allow him to learn on the job. I would personally, I've got it in my spirit, in my gut, that that's not the stage necessarily to be learning your trade. I think him playing for Trinidad and Tobago and combating what they have to offer, and then going into the nets with the machines, with the likes of Shannon Gabriel bowling in the nets, we then see and say, we can call it and say, go out there and do the stuff. Because other than that, it sounds like a very trial by error, and there's no guarantee or strong guarantee that he will actually come out trumps. But that's just my gut feeling regarding that. You know, he may prove to be a class act, but when you're opening the bat, as we all know, you're coming up against the Rabadas, the Shaheens. You're coming against the very best of the best, and then you're going to have the backup, and they're sniffing for the opening wicket. They're sniffing for the breakthroughs, and Joshua could have his confidence affected, and it affects the West Indian team because teams.
Shahid had 68 test innings, and his average is 25.
That's what I was about to say.
68 test innings. His average is 25. Joshua average is 23, and he's a better keeper. But you want to kick out Joshua to bring in Shahid? 68
that is all I was gonna say. You took it out my mouth. The man average 25.
My brother, 68 innings, and the man averages 25, but they want to kick out a young fella who's a very good wicket keeper to bring in Shahid. A man who plays so much cricket already and have not performed because he hit 2 pretty centuries.
That was what we were saying, Richard. You see, where ODI cricket is concerned, Shea Hope is right up there amongst the best, averaging 54, I think. And we were discussing that the problem now is that the averages are so similar, because Shea Hope would have played a whole lot of games and his average is about 25 and Joshua's is 23.
Darren Bravo averages 36. And he's not on the West Indies.
So that is what we worried about.
As a batsman.
Let me say one thing, Lennox. West Indies has tried so many things to keep Shea Hope in that team. He was at number 3. They brought him to open, and now they are going to bring him back in the middle order. Then what are they going to do? Play him as a bowler next? If he feels
Richard,
my point is simple this. My point is one thing alone. Joshua is an excellent wicket keeper, full stop. If we had to decide we want to bring in Shai Hope, who over 68 innings could only average 25 just because he's looking pretty, how are we going forward? We have a young fella in Joshua who can learn. I'm not saying Joshua should open. I told Sports Joshua should bat about number 8, right? Joshua should be there just before the bowlers, or even Roach could bat before Joshua. I am saying
no.
Keeper, you pick a specialist keeper to keep. I also said that this guy, Derek Murray, average was only about 17 runs, but he was the biggest winning West Indies with Clive Lloyd and them for years because he didn't use to drop catch. When you drop catch, you can make a man make a century. You can make a triple century if you drop a catch.
I think that was the first. I think that was the first double.
Bring in Hope who had Shai Hope. You want to bust Joshua Shoot. They bring in Shai Hope who had 68 innings and averaging 25. Big thing. He have 2 points ahead of Joshua in batting.
I think that is how the first double century was actually made in the Caribbean, if I'm not mistaken. Probably in Jamaica. I think it was one of the War brothers that came, and I think it was Courtney Brown that put down the catch, and the guy went on to make a double century.
Double century.
I wasn't around, you know, but I grew up hearing that story. Well, here, Richard, that is something that we were debating for about a half an hour before you came in. The Shea Hope and the Joshua Da Silva thing. But before I let you go again, Richard, I know you have a next question. I think Ian and Sheldon will be able to give us some insights. Now, you said that you're pretty interested in seeing what Solozano has to offer, the young opener that they have brought in. And Roger Harper said that it's a strong possibility that he will be thrown in the line of fire right away. But hold on, you notice that Powell is not in the squad enough. Kieran Powell is not in the squad, and Shea Hope is not going to open, so it's going to be Brathwaite and Solozano.
Without
No,
any doubt.
what I want is for, I don't know if Kiana would have gotten a chance to see him, probably Sheldon, another Trinidadian. And what I want you guys to do is to give us an idea of what sort of technique, how solid is this guy.
I have seen a few times. As far as technique, I believe he's solid in technique, but I can't put my head on a block because I haven't seen him face the best
international bowler.
No, never. I can't put my head on a block. He might go on field, I don't know, but I believe he deserves a chance because West Indies for the longest while just don't have an opener. We just struggling for opener. We have Braffett on one end and we have nobody at the other, and we keep struggling over and over. So I think you should have a chance. So that's what I say with it.
I think what's his name there? Solozano. He played a couple of West Indies 8 games, but I don't remember the teams that he would have played against. So he would have at least had a chance to come up against some amount of players that would have played international cricket before. But I don't remember the teams that those West Indies 8 games were against.
Yeah, but I just want to say, when you see there's a formula to cricket, right? There's a formula. You pick batsmen to bat. You pick bowlers to bowl. You pick wicket keepers to wicket keep, and you bring middle orders to kind of tighten up the gap where the batting falls short and where the bowling falls short. So like that midfielder in football would kind of be the first line of defense, but also transition into attack too. The midfield.
The midfielder is the engine room of the team, but the first line of defense would be the strikers. That's why you hear coaches cursing them and telling them to press.
Right. But what I'm saying, people like the ex-captain Holder and these
Jason
guys,
Holder. All around.
Right. When the bowlers kind of fall short, he could come and make up the difference, and he could also come up to and help out with the batting.
With the batting.
When the batsman fall short. Good. But the science of the thing is, you don't want to put a man because he pretty, like we chuck him in this. Either he can make it as a batsman or not. Right? And if he can't make it as a batsman, you don't want to say, well, let me force him to keep. Because and that is the kind of thing I'm trying to say then. You see,
this is us. This is us. Before I know I have another question, Richard. But I think a new person came on. OJ, where are you joining us from? Not here in OJ. I think OJ came on.
I'm muted.
Yeah, where are you joining us from?
Yeah, Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Name so Jamaican, right? I soon give you a chance to go, OJ. Right. I'm going to make a statement here and then let Richard get in the question that he had. No, Shea Hope. You see the issue with Shea Hope, this is us trying with him again, Remember, I was out of the team the other day, and a lot of persons were calling for him, but he was voted out based on his performances. So he would have made a couple of some runs in the best versus best game. I mean, Darren Bravo isn't there, so it's a possibility that Shea Hope will play and will bat at number 4. You see, it's a toss-up right now between Shea Hope and Rastan Chase. I don't know if those two guys are going to play. Because going over there in the subcontinent, as they say, they're going to probably play 2 frontline spinners. So Chase might be left out. So you might find Shea Hope play. Exactly. So you might find, and based on what I heard Roger Harper saying, it's likely that Shea Hope will bat at number 4, because I heard Harper saying that they tried him at the top, but he seems comfortable in the middle order. He got some runs in the best versus best. So it sounds as if they are queuing up to give Shea Hope a chance in the middle order. Yes, Richard. Yes, Richard.
Sports to the Bone and fellow panelists, I salute. Listen, what you've just said, you've queued me up beautifully, my brother. Shea Hope will come under the umbrella if West Indies are going to thrive going forward. He will have to come under the umbrella and spotlight of close, tough scrutiny. Ian, thank you for the statistics on the average. You brought it home. Sadly, it has to be said, brought it home that the cold, hard facts of the matter are that this current West Indian Test team, and the talent that we have at our disposal is not up to scratch. We've a long way to go. Shea Hope's average in the Test match arena, if it is around the 25-point mark, compared to Joshua De Silva, 23 point. That is a damning, I'm going to say it again, a damning and frank indictment of the West Indian cricketing game at the current moment in time. We've seen the likes of Sri Lanka in the T20. They've got some talented players. We saw them when they came over to West Indies, and we shared the spoils in the Test series. You know, Hasaranga, Dananjaya, and they've got some other young, talented batsmen that we've seen in the T20 scene. What I'm looking for now, and I think I'd love to hear from you guys as well as the West Indian selectors, but from here, I want to know, are you as fans prepared to be hard hedged tonight? And I'm listening carefully to call certain spades a spade and to get batsmen and bowlers and everyone representing the West Indies to be accountable and responsible for their own game. The test match arena, as you Sports to the Bone and all panelists know, is the toughest arena of all. I am feeling optimistic. I haven't followed the best v best game too carefully, but I know that there were runs scored by at least a couple of the batsmen. I am confident and optimistic and encouraged that Shea Hope is being looked at to bat in his comfort zone of number 4 or thereabouts. That will bring about its own responsibilities. That is not no play area. You need to bed in, read the game, and score. That average needs to go up. We are in the situation we are in terms of the regional game, but on the test match level, when we're meeting and going against other countries who are hungry, technically sound, their game is in good order, they know the requirements and rigors of the test match game, they will be bringing their A game in terms of up here, and with the gloves and the bat in their hand and the pads, they will go out and they know their history. And this hurts me a lot. They know their history, they respect their history, and they are keen, chomping at the bit to create their own history. Sri Lanka had the Ranatungas, the De Silvas themselves. Now they've got these young guys, and when I hear them being interviewed, I am just thinking, wow, these guys are ready. These guys are ready. Sri Lanka are out of the T20, but the way they conducted themselves and carried themselves and produced versus West Indies, as West Indian heads, as you said, Sports to the Bone, had dropped after 10 or so overs. The attitude and mentality of our West Indian players going forward needs to be carefully
Richard, let me
and unashamedly assessed and analyzed, and we need to call spades a spade, as Sports to the Bone has been doing. And I want to hear from you guys what we expect and what decisions we need to make hard-nosed. I want Shea Hope in the team, but I want him in the team producing. And if he's not producing, we need to know and sit down and objectively check out who is ready to step in. Shamar Brooks, the Karen Powells. Unless you are producing, then we're going to have to call some spades a spade. So Joshua De Silva, I wish you the best. I wish you the very best, but you need to get down. Come in.
Yeah, after we hear Marlon, OJ has been waiting for a while. So after we hear Marlon, we will hear from OJ, and then we go down to Mr. Lover.
Let me make a very quick point about Royston Chase. I've not said anything about Royston Chase. Royston Chase has put his hands up on numerous times. I have no problem with Royston Chase finding himself a place in the team somehow. I think quality-wise, he's got a certain something about him. He's been given a few chances, but Shea Hope and Royston Chase plus this Solozano, I think they can do a job, but they need to do the job and think before they act and not drop short. It's a tough arena, the test match arena. I think Royston Chase has a very big part to play in the game, but we need results and we need application and aptitude. Speak.
Right. I wonder if you realize that the Sri Lankan team that played us in those T20 games is not the team that played in the World Cup. Do we realize how quick on a dime Sri Lanka changed their setup and gave young players and proven players an opportunity to go out there and express themselves? So I want us to take note to that. That is my point.
All right, and before we go to more to OJ, Richard and then Mr. Lover. Richard is just coming on, but we're talking about the Sri Lanka guys, right? We were talking about it earlier, and the fact that they lost so many great players in the span of a couple of years. The Sangakaras, the Dilshan, the Malinga, all of these guys. And, you know, a lot of guys that played together at the under-19 level, they are stepping up. Hasaranga, the Nisanka, the Nisanka, Hasaranga, Asalanka, and the other guys stepping up. So as you say, you know, we want to see our players stepping up like that. Shea Hope will get a run in the test team once again, maybe for this series and another series, and then that might be it for him for a while, right? Based on the quality that we would have seen from Shea Hope at the ODI level, this is a man that you would expect to be the first. His name should be the first name on the paper if he was performing as always performing in ODI cricket. So I understand what you are saying. I'm giving him the number 4 spot. That is no joke. The PM average about 54. Yeah, and 55. And probably in ODI, maybe Babar Azam, Virat Kohli, maybe Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith might be 51. Maybe on the Babar Azam, Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson. Maybe those are the only guys that average in the early 50s, I think.
Yes, they are. They are the only ones.
Yeah. So
I think Joe Root is still at 48.
Probably 48, 49.
Joe Root fell. But
yeah, I understand.
There's only 4 batsmen averaging over 50. In 4 or 5.
Yeah, OJ, you have been there for a while. What say you? Then Mr. Lover.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
I find it funny how you bring up this point about Sri Lanka, because it doesn't make any sense to bring up this point about them bringing in youth when we've seen West Indies do this exact same thing. Or was it the Australia series of 2015, say 6 years ago? You remember when Jason Holder became the captain and they brought all those young stars in, and they went up at the test level, not T20. Now that's the difference between the two sides. Sri Lanka brought up their players in the T20 setup. That's not a good place to analyze. Like you're coming in, you get into play as a young player. T20 is the best format to go into. West Indies brought up players into the test setup. So I don't think looking at Sri Lanka and saying, oh, they brought up some young guys and they did well is a good way to look at it. It's not the right place to. But if we're looking at the West Indies now, if we're going to call it...
No, let me clarify. I'm talking about the T20 series.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. They changed the side, yes. And I know exactly what you're talking about. They changed the side completely and they brought in young players. But they brought them into T20 cricket. Not test cricket, not ODI cricket, T20 cricket.
No, my reference, I was trying to talk about T20, not the test team.
Yeah.
Why we should change the old guard. So let me clarify that. Wasn't the test team.
No, but what I was saying is that it's not a good way to analyze players to look at them in T20, because that's not the best place. You're not getting tested there. You can go out there and play your strokes.
He was talking about changing the
T20
similarly to T20. He was talking about West Indies
exclusively about the T20 stuff, not making. Okay. I'm saying Sri Lanka brought a team to the West Indies that got spunked, a T20 team with the Angelo Matthews and all those other guys, and they brought a different team to the World Cup with a younger set of core players. So I'm saying West Indies got embarrassed in the T20 World Cup. Let's move along with a younger core.
Oh yeah, for sure. They should have brought some of the CPL stars, but Sports to the Bone been saying that. Sports to the Bone said that the whole of his last podcast that he did at the watch along for the last game. They should have done that. But speaking on the West Indies test team, if we're gonna call a spade, the fact is the West Indies shouldn't have test status. That's what really needs to be said.
We're at that level right now, OJ.
We
It
should not
might
have
sound
test
away,
status.
but we're there.
That is a spade because you're asking for guys to go after 36 test matches and suddenly turn into superstars. Let me tell you something. There's only one player in the West Indies that's ever turned into a superstar in the last 10 years, and that's Jason Holder. He's the only one. He's the only one that's in. He's the only one that's in the competition of elite players nowadays. He had 34. I think he had 34 test matches, and this was up to the Pakistan series. The last time he went to Pakistan, Abu Dhabi, it was in. And after that, he's been one of the best players in the whole entire world. He's one player.
Consistently ranked as number one. He was swapping with Ben Stokes for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would give Kemar Roach love also. I would give Roach some love.
Kemar Roach has been performing.
Roach too. No, but Roach was performing all the way before then. So I'm not looking at Roach. Roach debuted in 2009. That's different. He's been starring since the beginning. He never fell off.
What's the point that you were making, my brother, regarding the West Indian Test team in terms of who's a world-class player? What's the criteria you're referring to?
What I am saying is that you guys are asking for these people to develop into superstars from where they're coming from. You've seen Shea Hope for 36 games. He scored 2 centuries in a game-winning test match. Cool.
He was against England in 2017.
Yeah. But this happened half a decade ago. It's not gonna happen. When you're talking about the ball swinging, if he's coming in at number 4, West Indies, the guy up here right next to Sports to the Bone, he made the point about West Indies being 1 down after 20 overs. That's not even true.
I think it was Ian.
They're 4 down. On a good day, West Indies are 4 down in 20 overs. 4, normally, if not 5 or 6. So, I mean, if you're going to talk about Joshua De Silva, his thing now, he doesn't even get to bat in good positions. The one game he played where he came in at like a wicketkeeper position. And what I mean by that is coming in at a position where the team is stable and all you have to do is add on runs. He scored 92.
Yeah.
Every other time he's come in, they've been 103 for 6, 45 for 6, all sort of garbage. So how are you expecting the man to succeed and you want to kick him out the side? That don't make any sense. Y'all need to get that correct. Come on, man.
All right, so wait, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Ashin.
Right. No, it's Mike.
Oh yeah, Mike.
All right, so I get what this young man saying. What's his name?
OJ.
All right, so I get what you're saying, OJ. Like West Indies right now, it looks like in terms of a test status, they may be gonna play for a spot in the next iteration of the world championships. But this is what West Indies problem have right now. I think, and I was just thinking about it, ever since like Courtney Walsh, right? I go back in the years. Ever since Courtney Walsh was captain, West Indies has not have a culture, like our identity, a proper identity coming up, right? Meaning that like teams like say Australia or New Zealand or any of those teams, they have like a identity in terms of like how they go about their matches, right? Or how they go about playing. For instance, like all right, so for instance, basketball, right? Everybody like understand basketball. Basketball, every state or every team in the league, they have an identity in terms of like, this is our pattern of play, right? Now, West Indies pattern of play before Courtney Walsh was basically like, going out there, being aggressive, the so-called, calypso cricket, blah, blah. And even today, West Indies cricket, the overall, even in the last, like in this T20 championship, like that's what they're trying to do. And that's what when Pollard came out and said, like he's not going to take singles, that's a big no-no, brother. You can't do that because if you're not gonna take singles, they're gonna want to hit sixes and be flamboyant and be, this and this and that. You're just like giving away the other side of the game, the fundamental side of the game. And West Indies, going back to the test, West Indies right now, looking at Brathwaite as an opening batsman, he's just there to bludgeon the ball, and not to bludgeon, but to defend. right? But to defend the thing, and it's not a pretty sight, but he sometimes get the job done. I don't know what Solozano is going to do. Haven't seen him playing before. The number 3 position, I don't know who's going to be the number 3 position in this team.
More than likely, Nkrumah Bonner. More than likely.
Nkrumah Bonner can't play a short ball, so he's going to be like, I don't know. He may be good in Sri Lanka because of the pitch and the spinning and the slow wicket and the spinners. Shea Hope. I think when he went to Sri Lanka, he in the 1 days he got like a century or something. I don't remember down there in the 1 days. Who else? Blackwood. Blackwood. I don't know. If he fails, he should be out of the team in this one. Joshua De Silva. I like him.
Let me stop you. No. Big man, Blackwood is West Indies' most consistent batsman over the last.
Right, Blackwood. All right. Yes, he was in the Test 11. It was like one of the most consistent batsmen. But again, him to me, like he's not. I don't know. There's something about him that is just like he's just. I don't know. But all right, I'll give him that. He's make him go on. Joshua De Silva. I'll give him a run. Jason Holder, whatever. He's good. He should be there. I think I think he should like go back and be captain, but who knows? And next one, Kemar Roach, boss. Jaden Seals, he's gonna be good. But I don't know if they're gonna like Western selectors. I don't think Western selectors are gonna like pick. Like I said, probably three all-out fast bowlers.
In those conditions.
In those conditions. Warkan, I don't know about Warkan. Sorry, I don't know about Warkan.
I think he didn't do too badly against Bangladesh in the series that most of the bigger players didn't go. I think he did some damage when he played against Bangladesh. Yeah, I think he. What you might remember is when we're playing Pakistan the other day at Sabina Park, when the right option would have been to bring in Azari Joseph as a next pace bowler to help out the pace bowlers, and they brought in Warrican on that Sabina wicket, and he was just terrible. But he didn't do too badly against Bangladesh.
Listen,
I don't know about it, but
your team with spinners in the subcontinent, you have no option. So
we don't have the option, but I think Chase should find somewhere in that test team to play. Chase should find somewhere in that test team, because he's one of the most say most century batsman, and he can spin his hand over. But again, in that core of players that I just mentioned, right? Mm-hmm. Who sets the culture of the team? Not even Brathwaite. I don't think Brathwaite have that gravitas enough to set the culture. Like nobody in that team go out there and say, all right, out and out, all right, we're gonna set a culture. Like Holder would be the one, but again, he's not the captain. More than likely, the Brathwaite is the captain. Nobody set that culture. Like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. And when West Indies play, they look like they don't plan. They like the captain just go there and say, "Yo, play your own game." And you cannot have that in a professional.
You know what they remind me of? They remind me of Manchester United. They remind me of Manchester United. No plan. They just go out there and play your ball. Just play.
Yeah, but OJ, I'm glad you came in, because OJ was bringing the point that I was bringing. You pick batsman to bat. You pick a wicket keeper to wicket keep. All the time when Joshua had to come in, it's 5 wickets down, and we have about 110 runs. And what the hell? I didn't want Joshua to pull West Indies out of the nonsense they're doing at the top. Them fellas in batting, but what the young wicket keeper, you want him to hit you know what I mean? Exactly. Let the man come in when West Indies might be 280 for 4. You're making some runs. Now when West Indies are kind of every match is some kind of collapse. We collapsing in the front, and we gotta deal with that. We batsmen not performing at the front. That is the problem.
The culture thing that let's give me a run. The culture thing that OJ mentioned, I think the reason why we haven't been able to develop a culture at the test level is the fact that we have been chopping and changing. We haven't found any quality batsmen to play together for maybe 4, 5, 6 years. and say, all right, these are quality batsmen, and these are the core of players that they have been performing. So this is how they perform. We will build the team around them. So you find that when you build the team around,
something to do with that too.
Hold on, but when you find out when you build the team around these sort of players, then however they profile, then the team will eventually profile like these guys. But the fact that we have been chopping and changing, it's a bit difficult to really build a culture. But I understand what you're saying in the OJ. Where the T20 is concerned, though, we still have that power hitting culture because we won two World Cup doing that. And I would have said it on several occasions. The game has evolved. Bowlers, they have figured out batsmen. So you need to keep your power hitting, yes, but you need to be able to rotate the strike. So they have the power hitting culture, but moving over to the test, you have to find a core of players that are consistently perform. Then that is how you build culture. You don't have anybody in the team to build the culture. So I think
can I say something? Can I say something real fast? I'm sorry. I don't want to cut.
Yeah, man, who's that?
Michael.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So we're talking about we're trying to get down to the core, right? So all right. So somebody at the top of the hour here, we're talking about how the regional sides, the regional teams, in terms of 4-day competition, they don't have enough players that that's a average high.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my arsenal. So you have any championship team you go around the world in terms of cricket and they're consistently winning. Guyana winning 4-day competitions, and no selector is not going through that team and saying, okay, all right, this team is winning, right? This team is winning. Let's at least pick some people out of that team. No, they go for Hetmeyer. Not saying Hetmeyer is a bad player, but Hetmeyer has only played like 2 or 3 regional games, right? He hasn't played enough, and he hasn't been in that team long enough. And you have people like, I don't know, maybe I'm kind of outdated on this one, Leon Johnson and these other players who have been consistently playing and winning these regional competitions, and they have not been picked.
Hold on, let him finish.
No, I'm done. I'm finished there. They have not been picked. So I'm saying, right, the West Indies management and selectors team, I don't think they have that vision to even do that.
See, before I let OJ go, where the Leon Johnson thing is concerned, I was thinking that the other day when we went to Bangladesh, I was thinking that Leon Johnson was going to be selected there, and I think one of the selectors came out and was saying that they had him in mind at that time. They had him in mind. So if he wasn't selected then, I don't know if he will be selected. But his individual performances, they aren't the greatest at the regional level, but he has scored runs and he has won titles. I think maybe about 4 or 5 titles as captain. Regional titles, I think.
And you need that. You need that though, because all right, you see somebody lucky. Somebody was saying on this panel, like, so you see when somebody's lucky. If I'm going to war, right? If I'm going to war, I'm gonna say like I'm gonna put 1,000 man out there in the field and 10 come back. Them man they lucky. I'm gonna make them a general. You understand? Cause them know, cause something about them know what to do. You see me?
It has to do with this strategy and thing, man.
Right, I understand. But again, when it comes down to certain things, Bridget, like it's all about like he's just like probably in the right place at the right time, or just say, hey, move right this up, get a catch. You see me? I say?
Yeah, and you see one of the reasons why we're having this issue is because we weren't able to really convince. I know the package isn't good as regards to in terms of monetary packaging to give to the players, but we weren't able to convince the likes of Nicholas Pooran and Shemran Hetmeyer to play some 4-day cricket and this test team. And as we said the other night, we can knock a man to want to provide for his family because at the end of the day, West Indies Cricket Board might not stand up for you if you are in difficulty. But those two guys right there would have solved a lot of issue for us if they would have, if it is the case that they would have played a lot of regional cricket and, and things like that, because Puran would be batting in that test team, and same thing for Shabran Hetmyer. Well, I guess we have to work with what we have, and I don't know how it's going to work, because these guys that we are seeing, we have been looking at these guys for years now, and it's not like they are going to magically, turn around as I think it was OJ that was saying, So that is the issue.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is that this isn't the first time this has happened. I'm earlier in the last decade and a little bit in the decade before that, Jamaica was winning all the titles. Barbados then came and won
with Tamar Lambert. Yeah, I think it was Tamar Lambert.
They didn't select most of those players. They always do this. They have favorites. Now, at least back then, they had, the likes of Shonda Paul and Gayle and Sarwan and all those players that you could say, okay, fine, you guys don't have a place in this team. But nowadays, I think you should always be trying to clean out the house and just pick a whole new 11. Like, we should do this again. The under 19 guys should get a chance now at this level. They should, because what are these guys gonna do? Average 25 for the next 5 years?
We need a Jaden Seals batsman somewhere, sometime out there.
I don't think it's entirely about favoritism why some players don't get picked, because sometimes you could look at certain guys and see that their ceiling is not that high at a particular level, even though they are doing competently well. And so some guys at the regional level, even though they might perform, you can see the ceiling is not high, and that's why the selectors are just not that enamored by them, and that's why they don't get selected. I don't think it's entirely favoritism.
So they're looking at potential rather than performance.
Yeah. No, like sometimes Ian, sometimes you see certain players, like in football, there's certain players, and you see them do well at the schoolboy level, but you realize the deficiencies that they have at that level, and you realize that they probably won't translate.
Yeah, Vivian Richards walk in the West Indies team after almost nothing. They only 55 runs he make, and when they watch that man, they think that was he walk in the West Indies team.
Yes, and then you see other guys who do well, and you realize you're doing all right, but your technique just won't make it at the next level. I think,
you see the problem with that though, I'm going to give you a good example, I'm going to give you a good example. I understand what you're saying, Marlon, but the issue with that is Forward Alam. You remember Forward Alam that came out here the other day and hanged us with Pakistan?
Yes.
Is his name Forward Alam?
Yes.
He was told at one point in time that technique will not ever be successful in Test cricket, and he was left in the wind at Pakistan for maybe about 10 years, I think.
10 years.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. You are able to spot certain players and, basically see that they might not make it to the next level. But you have to be careful, because some people, if you are going to give them a certain amount of intense training, then they might make it, because Fawad Alam was left in the dark for 10 years because he bats like Shivnar. For those who don't remember the name, he bats like Shivnar and Shandopal, the guy that played for Pakistan the other day and almost killed him.
It's in the other direction.
Yes. So we have to be careful.
The man looking at square leg.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you that question. Ask the panel a question. All right. Do you think that Michael Jordan, right, just start out beat Michael Jordan?
No,
not at all. The potential was there, the talent is there, and all that.
No, well, not even potential. He was like in a high school.
He was the second.
In a high school, he not even like make the high school like he couldn't make the high school team.
No, but he was the third pick in the draft.
Right, and right. Right. So here's the deal now. So if you
don't have the men's talent.
Okay. But here's the deal now. So you have players in the West Indies, right? You have players in the West Indies, batsmen in the West Indies right now. That you will look at and be like, okay, like he has no blah blah blah. But if you say, and even they shut down the high performance thing, the high performance center, but they shut that down or whatever. That was a good thing, but they shut that down. You have these batsmen, and like you say, all right, look, you're probably you're making some runs like Shandapal's son, right? You think it's Shandapal's son, that Shandapal as a father who probably coach his son. You think say him now gonna have no talent at the international level, even though he might not even perform a lot in the regional level, but he's now give him a chance in the international level.
But why are you playing cricket in our regional thing?
The problem with Shivnar, you see, with Shivnar and Shandopal, and I said this the other day, A couple of years ago, he was making a lot of runs, even double centuries. But I don't know, maybe because regional cricket is not playing at the moment. He's over there in Atlanta, Georgia, playing some cricket with the other guys.
I checked his stats recently. The stats are not impressive.
It's been a while since you have heard anything from him.
It's because his name is Shandapar.
But
the stats are not.
Was that Mike just now? I think we would want to see people dominating the regional cricket before we'd say that boy. They would definitely be successful at the international level.
Yeah, but West Indies doesn't have that pool. It's not like say the 1970s or the 60s when everybody play cricket and you have a bigger pool. West Indies have to come with another strategy in order to develop these to put these players on a level. They have to come up with a different strategy. Or else West Indies are gonna go and say, all right, I'm gonna invest, and West Indies don't have the money. And so West Indies are gonna invest and go in a school level, like high school level, and then start develop people from high school. Right? If we go up to regional and then have some type of other programs where we develop a regional player when he's like on football. It's not like how football is developed, football players are developed. Like you have 19-year-olds going into Manchester United. Yes, it's like it's not international, because if you go up on an international team, the competition is like a bit different. But kinda, but not the same. You understand? But it's still, when you go to a club, it's kind of world class. But in a cricket, if you go to a regional level, and then you can step him up to an international level, then but there's no real superstars where it's like 19 years old. The last one was like Smith, Kohli. So you have to really develop these players, and West Indies take a long time to develop players to until them like 30, like Bonner, who come out and then burst out with a or Carl Mears or something like that.
So we're usually behind. I see Richard putting up his hand for a good little while now as we look to wrap up. Wrapping up now, guys. We have been on for close to 3 hours.
He was a real good student, boy. He put up his
fingers. I see him sticking the hand up. Boy. So I'll probably hear Richard, and then I'll go around and give each person a chance. So before we wrap up. Yeah, Richard, go ahead.
Listen, it's a pleasure spending quality time with you gents, fair and true. I'm looking forward to listening to the replay of this particular show. A lot of positive, constructive input here, and I'm going to piggyback off what has just been said and make a point by way of maybe contention regarding another. The one word I would use and give you guys to work with and the West Indian cricketing community is attitude. Attitude. Test match cricket is hard-nosed, hard-edged. I'm not expecting this crop of West Indian players to suddenly develop from mid-20 averages to becoming overnight superstars. No, far from it. But application and attitude and a heart, and showing that they've got the guts and gumption to get the job done to the best of their ability and take on the rigors of test match cricket is an absolute must. I remember when the West Indies came over to play against England the last time, and I heard one of the commentators summarize and reflect upon West Indies. I think they eventually lost that 2-1. Was it 2-1, I believe?
Yes. 2-1.
And right. And I heard them say, you know what? When you look at the West Indian team, to be honest, we're maybe being too harsh to expect this team with the batsmen who average at the regional level somewhere at best in the 30s, to expect them, despite the appearance of having a chance of winning the series, to see them fold and collapse and limply come across the line in second place, well, of course it must be expected, because if they're averaging in the mid-30s at best, then they come up against quality, the best, the cream of the crop of England. Well, we don't expect much of them. And I heard that and I sighed. And
Exactly.
it made me sad in a way because it was almost as they say, well, yeah, the West Indies team, they're not really ready for us. They can't take us on. Doesn't matter what position they're going to come in. They don't have the right
Mm.
attitude, history, and belief in themselves as it
Quality.
stands. Ah, but the word attitude is sticking out like a sore thumb to me. And I want to make mention
Mm.
of when you talk, someone mentioned Craig Brathwaite not being the prettiest, not looking good. And I really want to hammer home this point. Test match cricket is not about necessarily looking good, it's about application and
Staying
attitude.
out there.
Stay sports to the bone. You enough said. Going forward, I want us to reflect, and I hope the West Indian board and the cricketers themselves remember and realize that the requirements of Test cricket require attitude. There are regional cricketers out there, I believe, especially listening to what you've said and the anecdotal examples you've come up with. There could be cricketers in the West Indies who are not stellar performers, averaging 50 plus. But if we can pick up on some players who have the right attitude and are not scared of the requirements of test match cricket, it's not going out there booming shots, trying to look pretty and stuff. You need to know what is required. Staying out there, sports to the bone. Enough said. The bowlers, it's not easy to get wickets at the highest level. But Jaden Seals, I like the look of Jaden Seals. I like the look of him and I like what he is saying and the attitude. We need results and to give of your best. Don't sell yourself short before you go out onto that pitch because you won't have any chance and it won't be a good look. We want them to do us proud and do themselves proud. And it begins with application and attitude. Gents, again, Ian, I salute you,
All
sir.
right, so
OJ,
that
Mr.
was
Lover, sports to the bone, full respect. Let me listen out and I'll be
all
replaying
right. Good.
and then seeing what I go on with the Jamaican and reggae boys. But enough of that. Full respect, yes, sir.
All right, Richard. Big up. So that was Richard with his closing remarks. So as we said, guys, we're going around and getting each person to close off. Sir Ian, go ahead and let us hear. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to close off with your prediction for tomorrow's game, or we're just going to finish off with the general conversation, that we have been having about the test.
But I'll start off with tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have to try. I don't know about them, but I think we have to sandwich some kind of pride. I mean, we have to, and I think we have to end the whole World Cup episode with at least some kind of good performance to make us feel a little like something. So I predicting that them fellas supposed to come out really fighting hard tomorrow. That's what I hoping for. As far as the test, well, my biggest problem have always been we as a Caribbean people, we don't have access to the economies of scale or the
Yeah.
necessary funds like these other countries to actually develop the way we should develop. And I agree with the attitude, but what happens is that some of these fellas, most of them are part-time cricketers, even in first class, after they finish with that, they go back in the bank.
Work.
Yeah. Whereas in them other countries, those guys are full-time cricketers. So we have a handful of cricketers that get contracts, but the majority of our cricketers are part-time, and so we unable to focus 100% on the craft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a
And
good point.
yeah, so you can't have amateurs playing professionals, and that is what's going on right now. And so until we develop a system where someone could concentrate on cricket and make and be able to feed his family and be able to put food on the table and so on, we're gonna have a situation where we're not developing as we should. Right? In the early days in West Indies, these guys were full time. Clive Roy and all of them used to work at they used to play cricket in England. and they had a okay living. They wasn't rich, but they used to live at a nice little standard with the little money they're making in England and so on. And they had status because some of them came from okay backgrounds too, where they wasn't really things were so tight to them. I mean, you had people like Everton Mattis. I don't know if you remember Everton Mattis. Everton Mattis was one of the greatest Jamaican now coming up on the scene, and them fellas had to end up going South Africa and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some of them had to end up going South Africa because they couldn't really survive. That's what Kerry Parker. Remember Kerry Parker? All the
the Kerry Parker series.
All it was about money. People criticized.
Yes, that was Rebel Tour.
So all that they think is rubbish. But all the West Indians, as good as they were, Vivian Richards, all of them still end up in Parker series to eat our bread. Right? And if it was bad for Vivian then, it's worse now for people who play Test cricket. Test cricket is a thing where sometimes 4 days you're away from your family. You go on to play cricket and you jumping in hot sun up into the that is Team Mary. Or you're jumping in the savannah and Team Mary sticking you all in your finger playing cricket in Trinidad, and when you come home, your wife vex because whole weekend you're out. You know what I mean? Your wife, I spend no time with you children, and what that cricket doing for me? What that cricket doing for me?
Yeah.
And I bringing anything home? How you get fellas? You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough for we in this Caribbean because we don't have the kind of facilities and the
resources,
finances to really get the best out of the people, and that is how I would put it.
All right, so Sir Ian there.
You ever look at the West Indies Cricket Board managing structure? You see how much people I get paid.
Hold on, who is there now? OJ or Mike?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, man. Who was going just now? OJ or Mike?
OJ.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, what I was gonna say towards the point that Mike had made, his last point, is he was saying that they don't develop good talents. That's not actually true, you know. They develop good under 19 talents. I think in the last
the transition is a problem.
The transition is a problem from under 19 because they've been to 2 semifinals and they won the title 1 year in 2016, I think. That was a team with Hetmeyer.
Remember we took everything. Was it
2016?
Oh, the under 19s won, the females won, and wasn't that it? Was it? I think that was the same year. But yeah, man, continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The transition is the problem. They don't take them from under 19 straight forward. Now, what I think the solution should be is, which is the sports to the bone solution, is if you blood them into the test team. Once you have test team on your CV, say somebody like Adrian Barrett. You remember when he came on the scene and he had scored that 100 on his debut in Australia? Once you have that on your CV now, a team in England can come pick you up and say, all right, cool, play the rest of the season here. So they need to make the schedule go around that England period from April to July. Shouldn't be international cricket being played during that time, if you see what I'm saying. That's my only point.
All right. So who is there? Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mike.
So let me just go through real quick in closing. All right. So I mean under 19, they develop good players in under 19. You're right about that schedule thing, but I mean it's kind of like unfeasible because during that time is the prime summer for West Indies. Probably the touring in, especially in the northern hemisphere. All right. So in terms of what Ian was saying, in terms of they don't have enough money, I look at West Indies Cricket Board organizational chart the other day, and around 40 to 50 people depend on that organizational chart. Tell me what they do, I don't know. In terms of West Indies test team right now, going into I wish them all the best and thing. I think that I don't think it's a well-rounded team, but we're gonna work with what we have. Tomorrow for T20, rally around the West Indies. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? I say if West Indies come out and a final hurrah, West Indies, Marlon Summers is probably Marlon Summers are chill right now if they're friends, so I'm good. But rally around the West Indies. If tomorrow, I would love to see West Indies win and send out Australia.
Australia with us.
Just a nice little send off by the old fellas, and I mean that's it.
All right, Marlon, you there?
Yes.
All right,
So
yeah,
to finish
we're
off,
closing up.
I don't care much about tomorrow. To be honest, the tournament is over. Whatever happens tomorrow, I may or may not watch the game depending on how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to the test series with a little bit because I don't think Sri Lanka is the team to measure ourselves against. However, it's away conditions, and whenever you win away, you have to. It means
Respect
more
it.
to win away than it
Exactly.
does at home. So
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, I'm looking forward to as a test team. I hope the batsmen can perform, and I want to see what the young man at the top of the order looks like.
Yeah, he's the one that I'm looking for.
I really want to see West Indies rope somebody like Kirk Edwards into the setup, the test setup, because he looks a competent batsman. The very few innings I see from him in the
Oh, the
CPL.
youngster that played
Yes,
in the
for
T20
Jamaica, for Talawas.
for Jamaica.
The quality
Yeah,
of
I
the
think he's an
shots,
Excelsior High School graduate. I think
the
he
quality of the
used to go
shots
to
I saw
Excelsior
from
High School.
Kirk Edwards, he should be given a chance in and around the test setup. T20 players is not the place for him to develop. He's not your traditional T20 batsman. So I want to see people like him get a chance to come through. But tomorrow I couldn't. If we send Australia home, all right, okay. But the disappointment is just there. That is my 5 cents.
All right, Mr. Lover, you there? All right, Mr. Lover. Let us hear
Yeah, man.
your thing.
Okay. I didn't get the chance to give my 11 earlier. I'm going to give my 11 my closing one time. Brathwaite, Solozano, Banner, Pope, Blackwood, Holder, Silver, Cornwall, Roach, Warrican, and Seals.
All right, so no Gabriel, no Gabriel.
No. I won't bring him back to risk him getting injured ahead of the England series. Let him recover. And with regard to tomorrow, it is what it is. I might as well give Fletcher a chance to go tomorrow. Walsh must play. Good luck. That's all.
All right. I think we have heard from everybody on, right? Yeah, man. Good. So
I didn't mention anything about the T20. I didn't get a chance to speak about the T20 briefly, but I forgot that West Indies were playing again. They're going to be playing Australia. Okay.
Yeah, we'll play Australia tomorrow.
Right. Well, I will be looking out for pride. Pride in whoever is selected. This has been wow. As I said, I'm going to watch the show again. There was so much to chew over, but I would disagree in saying that tomorrow is aimless or pointless. I think they need to send a message going forward. It's not going to be easy, I tell you, but they need to go out and show pride in their performance. Whoever dons that jersey, I don't want the same old. What we've seen thus far, wow, it's been seismic in terms of the disappointment. But tomorrow, I think whenever you're representing the West Indies, especially at this time and this juncture, we need to produce a showing that smacks of intelligence, respect, and intensity. I won't forget in a hurry listening to that Sri Lanka game, that watch along with you Sports to the Bone. I don't know how you went through it. I watched with you, and when I heard that after 3 overs, 21 runs, I was wondering who won the toss. Oh, West Indies won the toss, and they've put Sri Lanka into bat. Okay,
and we were talking about it the night before.
Oh, we would absolutely. So to hear that they went this direction, I thought, okay, they know what they have to do. 3 overs, 21 runs, 7 and over. This doesn't sound too pretty. And you remember Sports to the Bone? I sent you a text. I said, this is looks like an opportunity for the bowlers and the batters, all aspects of our unit to come together here. But I had a bad feeling about it. And my goodness gracious me, to hear that after 10 or so overs, the game was afoot. And then, and I'm gonna finish it with in terms of my review at this point, because I don't want to. I am looking forward very much to the remainder of the T20 tournament. I have enjoyed seeing teams apply themselves with shot selection, with bowling acumen, with fielding placements. I'm looking forward to seeing, can England actually take this crown? They're looking heavy duty. Will Pakistan be able to continue producing, or will they flop when the pressure gets hot? I've enjoyed watching them perform. India, did you see what India did? Did you hear how they approached it? This was almost the exact situation or similar to what West Indies had. And the way that they dealt with the matter, Scotland were decimated in beautiful fashion. We saw Australia. They knew what they had to do, and they took care of matters in a matter of over 6 points.
Exactly.
Oh man,
Australia did it yesterday, and India did it earlier today.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So in comparison, we rocked up way short. So going forward tomorrow, I want to see them do something. It's going to be a tough ask. I'll tell you. I'm not expecting them to beat Australia, to be honest. They've got the ability to do it, but given all that's gone before, it's going to be a mighty tough ask, because Australia have skin in the game and they're looking to get through. We ended up in a very tough group, I must say. We had the tough of the group, but no excuses guaranteed. We need a thorough review and a new broom sweeping clean. We want to see attitude and application across the board. Gents, again, I salute.
All right, respect, Richard. So once again, shout out to all the gentlemen that joined us. You know, it greatly appreciated. For those who were in the comment section, didn't get a chance to come on, but was keeping the live chat going, I must say, I appreciate it a lot. So guys, tomorrow, you know how I will do it. Tomorrow is Premier League and cricket, so I am going to try and do both of them at the same time, if possible. So that is it for tonight, guys. Everybody enjoy the rest of it. But Richard, it's what time in your neck of the woods? About 1, 2?
Nearly 2:15 a.m.
2:15 a.m. All right. We respect the dedication, man. Respect. All right. So we're checking out, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you guys, man.